Already.
So, hello everyone, welcome to Lido History. I'm Adam, as always, and I'm joined once again by Luca for what is probably the finale of God of War, Dad of Boy.
The
The
finale.
finale,
Hello.
we're gonna murder Death Balder, and that won't have any negative repercussions at all, we promise. Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. As always, if you miss any of the VOD, you can catch it over on YouTube. Or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, hello, we appreciate you. But do consider coming and joining us live so that you can have more fun and get to ask your questions to us directly. Because it is just a lot more fun that way. It doesn't always seem that way, but I promise it is. Also, if you want to help support the stream, do consider heading over to patreon.com/LeoHistory. It helps me be able to afford to bring you the best and brightest games like Elden Ring, because that's a thing in the works. Probably not next week, probably not the week after, probably last week in March. But that's the thing, you know. So if you want to help, offset the cost of that, do consider supporting the channel over there. But as always, your view, just watching and being part of the community, is greatly appreciated. Now, what do you say we get stuck into this?
Let's do it.
True, AC. Can't stop thinking about that tie ad for Elden Ring. Honestly magnificent. You love to have the sheer courage of tie ads for everything.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh god, it's
That sounds
bonkers.
great, though.
It's bonkers. People were like trying to figure out, is that like a domestic abuse hotline? Is it just like a jewelry store or something? Like, what on earth is going on? And then surprise, it's Elden Ring.
Okay, I'll have to check this out after
Oh,
stream.
it's hysterical. I'll make sure to send it to you after we finish up.
Right on.
I didn't think we'd see you out here, since you and Brock got back together. Everything okay?
Oh, better than ever. You know, I really think we've both grown in our years apart.
Amazing.
So how come you're back here?
Just catching some fresh air. Look, I love my brother,
Aw.
but he still smells like a fetid dung pile.
Aw. Adorable.
I did see,
Overall
do you know
volume seems low. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. We'll see if we can't fix that, chat. Give me just a sec, yeah? We turned everything up a bit. Who? Highlight message. Do you think Heather is going to show up as a mini-boss in the next God of War? Ooh. My
It
money's on no.
depends. Yeah, my money's on no. It really depends if they take the same. If Sony gives them enough time
Atreus, to
to
me.
do what they want, there's a slim chance we'll see Hoder. Hoder's kind of a specific person. I get because he killed. He's one of Baldur's brothers. We kill him, or we kill Baldur, and maybe he comes for vengeance or something like that. But I mean, if they go with their kind of approach to this game, where they had copy paste big troll bosses, then we're not going to see too many unique bosses, and we only
Yeah.
saw a handful of gods in this game as it was. So
Hopefully.
now since Ragnarok will be the last part of this, it'll just be the second and final part of this sequence of God of War. If they go full God of War 3 with it, and they just have us kill all the rest of the gods, then who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, I am definitely curious. I think though the reason why I'm actually doubtful he'll be a mini boss is that I think if he's a character, they're going to make him sympathetic.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you're standing still, Atreus? Boy. Basically, just we're just gonna teleport. We're just gonna warp somewhere and be done with it, instead of trying to make Atreus like cooperate.
Fair enough.
So, right, because Heather is effectively by far the most famous iteration story. He is hapless and literally doesn't get to participate. Right. So he doesn't have agency in the situation. He's manipulated into it, and then
Yeah.
So what do you think,
he
Mimir?
gets killed for his trouble.
What does Baldur want with us?
Well, let's look
Right.
at what we know.
So
Baldur is Odin's finest tracker, bar none.
what?
If he wants you, you have to consider the possibility that Odin wants you. And as for what Odin wants, on this I have some expertise.
What could we have that Odin doesn't? He's like the king of gods.
Of the Aesir, aye. But his reach is not unlimited. And where he cannot reach, he is preoccupied with going. He's certainly tortured me enough about it over the years.
Neat. Thank you, Mimir. Yeah. So yeah, I think they're going to make him sympathetic, and I think that's going to be a dubious decision, basically.
What's got you all?
I think that was a lot of sidetracking on that comment in order to make that exist. Yeah, this dude, you are correct. That that he's way more active in Saxo Grammaticus's version, but nobody reads Saxo, so like,
Yeah.
you know.
He's also even kind of like the protagonist of that episode. Or he's at least portrayed more positively in that he's the one who wins in 2 fights against Balder and then marries Nanna.
Yep. Generally, though, I just think he's
Odin wants to go where he can't reach.
unlikely to
Are you saying he's trying to
make a
Jotunheim too?
significant appearance
Aye.
because he's
He
part
ranks
of
among his
one of a
foremost
large number of
obsessions.
gods who just
But
like don't make appearances
That
in
doesn't
this.
make any sense, Mimir.
Oh? When did I stop making sense?
You're saying Baldur tracked us down to find the way to Jotunheim. But that was before we knew Jotunheim is where we needed to go. Crazy.
Except for one thing. You are headed for Jotunheim, so he was right.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
Well then, clearly you've been listening.
Hello, friends. 81 deities. Chloe, welcome. Anyway, there was a specific request on an Ice Cold Take on just how did people smell in the early Middle Ages. The Ice Cold Take is, of course, people smelled atrocious.
Yeah.
The equally Ice Cold Take is everyone smelled like sunshine and flowers.
Yeah.
You two going in or what?
In reality, they probably
I'll find
smelled like people.
I missed its gentle breeze and
Exactly.
the sweet smell of honeysuckle and blood. Well, judging by the
Okay.
sky, the light elves are in control of the light this time.
Interesting.
Explain.
You see, the light elves
Oh, this
and
part.
dark elves.
Uh-huh.
Are always fighting over the light. That part we know.
But did you also know that control of the light has changed hands no less than 213 times?
Alright.
Really?
It's true. Each side believes itself the rightful keepers of the light and argue they're simply fighting for survival. But the fact of the matter is, the war has been going on so long, they don't know who they are without it.
Thank you. Now, we are in here for one specific reason, and that is I have been promised that at some point Mimir is going to tell us about Freyr, who I am angry is not appearing in this game. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
Cleanliness. Certainly, there is a lot more cleanliness than
Can
there
you read it?
Yes, sir.
we often imagine, right? In Scandinavia,
What does it say?
the word
It's
for
about
Saturday
the eternal war for the light.
is that
Do you think it'll stop now after what we did?
Unlikely.
Svingvig, yeah, okay, I see that. Right, Vig being battle there.
Yeah. The
So, unfortunately,
Leosi.
yeah, it looks right, but let's take a look at that. In the meantime, though, the Scandinavian names, yeah, there's Leosi on the bottom.
Yeah.
STE. Is there a way to roll? Yes. Give me the. Yes, we can just spin the whole thing until it's.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah. STEN.
And Stendi.
Uh,
Stend. I can't see.
I
The
think
rock
that's
is
a D, and then I can't make it out of that.
Yeah, it's the D rune and then
R.
kinda,
Stender?
yes. Stender.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's a word.
Yeah.
Uh,
Svingvig. That sure. The long-lasting or strength battles for the light, of the light,
Yeah.
something in those lines.
Yeah. With respect to the light.
Exactly. Hey, go away.
That was an interesting direct. You get punched and you go straight up.
Love these guys showing up again. Love them. Just gonna murder them so much. Anyway.
Yeah. So with the cleanliness, real quickly, like it's funny because this is also has made its reappearance on the internet as a meme again. That famously, when the Danes and other Scandinavian Vikings showed up in early medieval England, or late medieval England, is that the term?
Early.
Early medieval England.
Pre-conquest England?
What?
Or pre-conquest England, or...
Pre-conquest England, Viking Age England, whatever. When the Danes and Scandinavians showed up, it's written that like the women, English women, were so impressed that they washed themselves daily and combed their beards and hair
Oh, clear this up.
and cleaned themselves very well, and so they were just way more enamored with these Danish men, and
Yeah.
the English men were like really upset about this, to say the least,
The thing that
because
annoys me
they
about
did not
that
do
one,
these
though,
things apparently.
Right, I mean, they almost certainly did. The thing that's annoying about this is that it's
Yeah.
all from John of Wallingford's chronicle, which dates
Ah,
to
okay.
it dates to the mid-1200s,
Right.
and extremely unhelpfully, it
Yeah, of
turns out
course.
that it has been well accepted for a very long time that there is very little of his value in John of Wallingford's
Oh, okay.
broader history, except for people just seem to be okay with that one
Oh, 'cause
that
it's
one
funny,
bit
that's why.
because it is extremely funny.
Although, it is, of course, combs and things and personal hygiene products do appear very, very frequently in burials from
Oh.
the medieval North. So,
Definitely, right. That's
And
not to say that
pre-medieval.
they are unconcerned, but rather that he is overstating the amount to which everyone was horny for washed their.
Svartalfheim means land of the
I
Dark
know,
Elves,
yeah.
right?
Right.
But you said the Dark Elves have been here in Alfheim a really long time.
Oh, this is an interesting
and
one.
anyway, aren't dwarves supposed to be from Svartalfheim?
Uh-huh.
They don't look like Dark Elves.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think so? Then you are vastly more perceptive than the Aesir. They're the ones who apparently can't tell the difference. And they're the ones who came up with that name.
Right.
Dwarves actually call their home realm Nidavellir.
So the Dark Elves aren't from
So
Svartalfheim at
we
all.
be shitting on
Not
Snorri
even
right
a
here.
bit. They're just elves of another colour.
yeah.
Nobody knows who came first, but they all come from Alfheim.
Why do they fight all the time if they're really the same?
That is adorable.
Huh?
True.
It is the way of the world.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
True. But hang on, we just dunked on Snorri really hard for
Yeah.
probably making up Svartalfheim.
Yeah.
There's no
I
sources-
missed that the first time.
There's no sources older than Snorri that mention Svartalfheim, but there are some places that seem to, or neither Vetlir, if Mimir pronounced that badly, but neither Vetlir is what appears in the older sources as where the Sons of Ivaldi live. And Snorri says that Svartalfheim is where the Sons of Ivaldi live. We know the Sons of Ivaldi are all dwarves, and therefore, if the two realms are the same, then guess what? That's probably
Yeah.
a construction that says that the Dvergar are the Svartalvar, that they're the same things.
Yeah. And that the Svartalvar are not really as distinct as one would think, either way.
Yeah. that guy's pretty big. Again, they're pretty big. Is there someone other than Snorri conflating the Vergar with the Svardalvar? I mean, the name Svardalvar is only in Snorri.
Yeah.
So
There's no other.
Technically,
It's
a scholarly analysis, I suppose.
yes, it's a mythographic novelty.
Right, but technically, I suppose it's technically secondary scholarship. That's all going. Oh yeah, he's saying that they're the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, technically yes.
So I don't know if you want to count that. I don't know if you don't want to count that. Hey, we got it open. Let's go take a look at this Valkyrie, and then be very upset, because the Valkyrie will roll us again. One attempt
You
for the
got
sake
this.
of pointing to out who the Valkyrie is, and then we will lose.
Sure.
And then we will lose. So Snorri is the one responsible for Dunmer. See, this is the way.
This is the way.
We can blame everything wrong with Elder Scrolls lore on Snorri Sturluson. Flawless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, you probably can. Alright.
Probably can.
Now we need a spicy take. I want to finish up talking about hygiene though, because right, it does have to be said that there is animal and human fecal matter all over the place in medieval cities. Right. Even when there are regulations against it, there still ends up being waste everywhere. And so cities will smell deeply unpleasant.
Yeah.
Individuals may not, but the general milieu is not the most sanitary one in the world.
A Valkyrie. We have to
So,
save her.
Think
Now.
before you act. Are
Spicy
we
takes.
prepared to face such a powerful foe?
I'm ready if you are.
Aye, same here. If that counts for anything.
I don't know, do you have a
Here
spicy?
she comes.
Do you have a relevant spicy take?
A relevant spicy take.
I don't know. If you got one for the Valkyries, then great. Ow. I just got rolled. I just got completely rolled. Holy shit.
You're still in it. Still in it.
Nope, not like that, I'm not.
God, it's fast.
Moving a bit slow.
Yep, nope.
Oh, there we go.
We're not even gonna try again on that. We're gonna just give that a proper another go.
Fair enough.
We're gonna give that just a straight up
See
another
the
go.
The Valkyrier.
And then we will go into photo mode when they actually start the fight. Thank you for catching that, yes.
Here she comes.
Nope. Bad positioning. Stand up.
End this.
There we go. Photo mode. Hello, friend. I wish to look at you. Let's see if we can get a good spicy take out of this. Because I want to save some of the really spicy stuff for later. Interesting.
So the kind
I-
of weird gibberish runes on the front.
Yeah, those like aren't even... I'm
It's
not
like
even sure
the-
what the heck they're trying to be. They're like not even pretending to be runes.
I think they're the symbols that are on those braziers in front of the realm gates.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
that are
they're
their
the
names.
super duper fake runes. Okay. And on contrast though, this is actually looks quite good.
Yeah.
I like the stylings on that. I'd say
Pretty
it's probably
cool.
relatively late in the Viking Age, but I'm not familiar enough with the architectural styles. So if anyone actually like knows the 6 styles of Viking Age engraved art better, cough. Where are Lynn and Jake when you need them?
Yeah, right.
Honestly. But if anyone in chat does happen to know the exact differences, here's a really good look at this one to help identify it. Otherwise, she seems pretty, very fancy Viking.
Yeah.
Right? Just very, very fantasy Viking with the weird, like, I guess vague references to something resembling a feather headdress. Ah, dang it. Ow. That... Jeez, she hits so hard. Oh god, why am I doing... What the heck?
Okay, brother?
Still just trying to think of a spicy take
Yeah,
right now.
I don't have any great ones, so... Instead, what I'll do is I'll actually bring in a spicy take that will set up future spicy takes. Which is to say, to look at Heather Donahue's account of Beowulf. You know, that very notably not Norse poem. Oh, come on. And her take, that it actually does represent Norse myth. Ah, heck.
Everything okay back there?
Heck. Wow. She mauled me. That's alright, we're
Yeah,
good.
pretty brutal.
We're good. I believe in us. Where is she? Heck. She's just gonna maul me again. Yep. Ah.
Oof.
I couldn't locate her too quick, or locate her quick enough to dodge that hit. So,
Yeah.
rip. Yeah, Chad, stop being horny on main.
I mean, they put that that stomping animation in there for a reason.
True.
No, just but maybe, you know.
No. If that one's not fan service, I don't know what is.
Yeah. That's the thing about Valkyries.
Actually, I don't want to go up here, do I? Because I want to get back in the boat.
Here's kind of a spicy take, although
Do
it's
it.
more of a take about the modern social conventions surrounding this reception than it is about the actual, you know, Old Norse scholarship or sources or anything. But it's basically that. I mean, firstly with Valkyrie, since we just fought one, is that there is also this. I mean, like it's not just kind of. There is the aspect of the reception of Old Norse, kind of warrior women, like Viking warrior women, in modern culture as like a way to create from a source like strong female characters, which is cool as hell. Everybody likes a woman in armor with a big sword smashing things.
True.
But there's also this kind of like sexualization aspect to it that sort of kind of goes in line with like the big strong muscle lady kind of snoo Futurama aspect.
Yep.
Which, you know, that's fine. Everybody can be attracted to everybody, whatever. But it's kind of built into the character concept, I think, to a certain extent. And it's the same with shield maidens and such.
Yep.
And you see, especially like when I was teaching the literary corpus, I was teaching some guest lectures last semester,
Ooh, fun.
which was really fun. And so I took over teaching, you know, later Islending Asogur and
Yeah.
Ridder Asogur and stuff like this. And so,
Right.
of course, we talked about Maiden Kings.
Yeah.
And although Maiden Kings are a cool character in concept, in reality, it's just not. It's not some sort of proto-feminism
No.
because they always end up raped and returned to being like, subservient wives or whatever. They always end up being quote unquote tamed, and so it's most like it's mostly thought of and analyzed by scholars in the sense of being writers reflecting on these anxieties about inheritance and what happens if a woman becomes the sole controller of a kingdom because there's no sons, and then she chooses to not give up that power. Oh well, like a strong male suitor has to come in and sort of tame her and then restore society to
Yeah.
its proper patriarchal order.
Yup.
And so we like to think of these things, and I really enjoy those sagas because the parts where they actually are being these like ruthless female kings is really cool. And then it always ends kind of on a sour note because they always end up getting sort of
Exactly.
quote unquote returned to their proper place.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. The I guess the closest to an exception is kind of in Hervarar saga, where she's not really a royalty anyway, but everything goes badly regardless because she gets like 50 people killed.
Yeah.
So still not great. And there's some that come close. Have like glimmers of something that we could read plausibly with a feminist perspective, but for the most part, yeah, it's a super gross trope. But I'm glad that people are trying to do more interesting things with.
Yeah.
And speaking of super gross tropes, the one that we just got wrecked by, Olrun, is attested primarily in Völunnarkvida,
Oh.
where she
yes.
is one of the Swan Maidens that
Oh, okay.
Völunder and his companions steal the Swan cloaks from, and then force them to marry them.
Wow.
Yay! Now,
I hate that.
isn't it just lovely? Yeah, Völunder is kind of a horrible person.
Yes.
Okay, now, what I'm hoping to find here...
Freyr's temple.
That.
The ring is just as beautiful as I'd remembered.
Tell me about Freyr.
Rare.
A Vanir god. Freya's brother, actually.
Freyr has a long history with the elves.
Uh-huh.
One of the few gods welcome here.
He's literally their king. It was given to him as a present. Wait. Like, was literally given to him as, like, a birthday present. What do you mean, well, the few welcome here?
Maybe they kind of tried to set him up as like a parallel to Tyr among the Jotnar.
That's what I think is very likely, is that if Freyr plays a significant role in the next game, he's going to
He
be one
better.
of the friendlier gods.
Yeah, he better. I want to see Freyr. I want to see this man riding around
Interesting.
on a golden boar, and then with a ship that he unfolds in his pocket.
True.
Amazing.
Honestly, would be pretty great.
Yeah.
Interesting. For the first time ever, I appear to be quieter than you, according to chat, so I'm just gonna speak up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Anyway, there's more Freyr inside the temple. Great, let's go inside the temple and talk more about Freyr, because I am so mad he's not in this game.
Yeah.
Because Freyr is one of those gods that is super obviously, stupidly important. Despite not having an analog in the broader Germanic tradition, like, there really isn't an Old English cognate to Freyr. It doesn't exist.
No.
Right, there's no cognate to Freya, there's no cognate to Freyr. And their names are not helpful here because they mean just Lord and Lady.
Boy.
Yep.
Over here.
So that doesn't help us
Sir.
at all. But
Wonder who wrote this.
he's incredibly important. Hello. Who is this lord? The light is ours again, but there is no time to lose. Only the return of Lord Freyr can secure peace. Surely we are liberated by forces sent forth at his command like the Sword of Legend. But Freyr himself remains lost, and now we must come to his aid. Some believe he has returned to Vanaheim, while others believe he is held in Ausgarther. Both paths are now found shut. With the temple secure, all Elfkind is called away to seek our lost lord. Hey, look, they're actually acknowledging the fact that he's not just welcome, but is actually, like, in charge.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
I like also Lord
Mhm.
Frere. Lord.
Moon Moon.
Moon. Oh god, a classic.
Alright. We have now observed Frere. So the fact that he's missing absolutely means he's gonna be in the next game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm calling that one right now. There are some gods that I think are just not going to show up. I think Heather is one of those. I think Frere almost has to show up.
Yeah, because they had him in like background lore for the game, and it's sort of. I think he'll have to show up because if they're wrapping everything up in the next game, the Vanir have to show up, which means Frere has to show up at some point, or at least be like in a scene or something.
Exactly.
And then
I expect I actually think he'll be a boss. I think that's my prediction, is that Freya is going to be super upset and get Frere to come after us, and we're going to have to murder him.
yeah, it could be.
And we'll just
She's like, "You did what to
replace
my-"
Surtur.
You did what you made my sister cry. I will now kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then not only will we be, spoilers for like 2 hours from now, we'll just become Surtur as well.
Yeah.
And that seems very plausible with how many fire associations we've accumulated.
True. And I mean, we do have not one but two brand type weapons.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, you're right.
Because Surtur wields a flaming brand as a weapon,
Uh-huh.
and we're swinging two of those around on chains.
Exactly. And this dude points out Frere fights with an antler in at least one referenced myth. Not actually a... Whoa. I just got myself super turned around. Well, this is awkward. Let's try that again. But
Yeah,
like
he gave
kills
his-
Belly with a antler because he gave his sword to Skirnir.
Yes.
So, right, that
weird,
antler
it's-
weapon could be really cool in God of War.
I always considered that so weird that Skirnir just never gives the sword back.
True, just yoink mine now.
Just keeps it, and Freyr's just like, that's fine.
This is all fine. Nothing bad will happen from this at all. Ignore the 7 people who told him something bad would happen from it.
Yeah.
But honestly, right? Skirnir going like, yeah, I know it's the end of the world, but you gave it to me, dang it. It's such a mood.
Yeah.
But did he kill a man with a cob of corn? Wolfie, a good question. But sadly, you know, something corn doesn't exist in medieval Scandinavia something.
Cue Kratos as Vin Diesel from Chronicles of Riddick, and he's like, I'll kill you with my mead cup.
Exactly.
It fits because they're both bald
And violent.
and violent,
I mean, that's basically the same character at this point, right?
basically. Yeah.
Now, next step. We have finished task number 1.
Got you all bumfuzzled over there. Get going.
Step number 1 was go see Frere.
Fair lore.
Step number
Check,
2.
check.
Step number 2, optional content.
Muspelsheimer and Niflheimer.
It is. We are heading over to Muspelheim.
Okay. Tell me again how Odin knew we were going to Jotunheim before we did.
Odin is extremely clever, you see.
Oh no.
Nearly as clever as he thinks he is.
That's terrible
And
news.
he's a collector of prophecies. If it's about the future, he adds it to his collection. Helps him style himself as all-seeing and all-knowing. But of course, the idea is control. Control of the future, control of his fate. He'd control every realm of every land in every world if he could. Every potential pocket of resistance he seeks to eliminate. Even if you've never posed a threat before, he may think one day you might. So you see, it's not important how he knew before you did. It's important that he was right.
Well, that's unlucky.
Yep.
That honestly is not a terrible account of Odin in the mythology.
No, that's
Right,
pretty much.
that's pretty much accepted as to like how Odin be. Because he's just that. He absolutely tricks, lies, and steals
Wow.
prophecies
It's hot
every chance
here.
he gets.
But is that snow?
Ash. It only falls like that for great fires.
The whole realm is a great fire, the source of fire itself, and all the sun and stars. if
Also, the
legend is to
Sahara
be
Desert,
believed.
but that's okay.
Should we believe? I mean, we're here, and we're not on fire.
Not yet.
Well, you know, I suppose it's cooled considerably since the dawn of creation, hasn't it? Niflheim isn't exactly ice these days either. It's in the nature of things. Extremes are tempered by time.
Oh yes, the
Fires
inevitable
burn
heat
colder,
death of the
men
universe.
grow old and grey. Heads are chopped off and attached to belts. Such is life.
Okay, Mimir.
Mimir is aware of the inevitable heat death of the universe. Let's go.
Yep.
Also, though, the comment of old age, right, age always tempering things, I think is not a very Norse one.
No.
Because, old people doing stupid shit because they're sick of being old is a very common trope in the sagas.
Yeah. Yeah, old people are sometimes more dangerous.
Because, yeah, they may not fight themselves, but they may try and stab you while you're not paying attention, or they may goad someone who's significantly more buff than you to fight for them.
Yep.
Now,
Here,
lore.
Boy. Another one.
Give lore, please.
This one's called Surtur. Must be a fire giant.
Aye, the first and original.
He makes a flaming sword.
A weapon of legend.
He fights Thor and Odin. But is that the past or the future?
He fights neither of them.
That may be a matter of perspective.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wait, he fights neither of them. What?
Yeah. What
What?
the hell?
Excuse? Alright, lore time. Gib lore.
Gib.
Born or Osku och Bergkviken or Bergkviku. I guess this is his birth.
Bear.
Born
Yeah.
from lava and ashfall, or I guess rockfall, or wait, literally
Yeah.
living rock, right? Berg Kviku. So
Yeah.
living rock has a statement for
Maybe just, yeah, magma?
yeah,
A quick rock? Moving rock?
yeah, which is fine.
yeah.
Don't hate that.
Berg, okay. Oh, what was it? Oh, Oscar, yeah, okay, yeah.
Osku och Berg Kviku. Yeah. Can't read that one because hello.
Well,
That's just not in good enough condition to read. That's fine. The most important one is probably down. Oh, I want to go down there. Okay. Thjóðmenni?
Þjóðmenni og
Drengi.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drengil.
Yeah, yeah.
Drengilegur.
Drengilir.
Lífir.
Lífir.
Is this just quoting Völuspá?
Maybe.
I feel like this is just quoting the Star of Ragnarok in Völuspá.
Huh?
I mean,
Let me check.
Ragnarok's is in the dead center. of it, so it's at least on Vibe if it's not there.
Yeah, popping it open now.
The other option that it might be is Hatmundarkvilla.
Which part would it be? Sorry.
It's going to be like circa stanza 50.
Right. When shit goes down.
For let's see, for Altri, Fessir, Logandi, burning, yeah, Logandi Sversicht. So, oh, Beef, okay, mit Beef Han Ragnarok, Vivir, Hat, Eve. Okay, so I think it's a paraphrase. It's saying something like, people and warriors live like a way. I guess live hoping that, or live their lives while he waits for Ragnarok. Then he'll destroy everything with his burning sword. Is more or less what it says.
Mm.
I don't think I got it exactly right, but I think that's the vibe. Now, fair. Okay, this does say frère. Au sur. Ja. Surtan. Surtalogia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Surt's fire. Is
Yeah.
there. So something. Fek. It's. Sorry, Frere perishes in Surt's fire. This is the high quality content you all come here
okay.
for, right? us
Yes.
sounding out
Slowly
sounding out runes.
Anachronistic
Over...
runes.
Yeah, a little bit anachronistic. Brett Sutter, LSG. What? It's sorry. It's.
I think it's an A.
Oh yeah, that is an A. Okay, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Ausgarth.
Ausgarts, yeah. Ausgard.
Svå ut, Thor. Right. No, sorry, not Thor.
Svoth.
Yeah, Svå of Therod. Therod saw Enderboreth. Alright. It is a mystery.
Yeah.
They did mention
This
Frere.
one's-
They did mention Frere in the runes, so I'm happy.
That's good enough, yeah.
Exactly. Well,
And some of those runes were pretty indistinguishable. It's
those
like they're
were
actually
not in good shape.
they're trying to actually mimic real runology, and I'm not paid enough for that.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Runologists get the big bucks. Well, runologists have one statistical anomaly that get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Listen,
Uh,
I hear a voice.
Another elf?
I don't think so. It's coming from up there.
I think we maybe don't want to climb the volcano. That feels like it would take a long time. But we acknowledge it exists. And I do not hate this take on Muspelheim.
No, I mean, yeah, it's just like a flaming, sparking, where there should be more sparks. That's the
There
other
should be
thing.
more sparks.
More
The other
sparks. That's my only criticism.
The only other thing is that I think that this is Muspelheim as at the end of the Viking Age. I think Muspelheim at the start of the Viking Age is a bit different.
Yeah.
I think it's the Sahara Desert. I think at the start of the Viking Age, it's just the Sahara, and a lot of the stuff about it becoming more lava-like is a 10th century innovation after the settlement of Iceland.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you think the more mythological kind of
The
reading of
voice.
it is actually
It's
later?
just around this corner.
Yeah, in
Oh.
that I
Yeah.
think because
It's a great big sword.
Surtur is
It wants to know
very
if we're ready to train.
clearly volcanic eruption. He appears in Völuspá, which T.S. Nordvig has argued Ragnarok is a eruption. And then he also appears in Hallmundur Kvíða, which is the one poem that literally everyone agrees is just a volcanic eruption.
Right.
So that means he's pretty clearly lives in a magma chamber of a volcano. He be lava. And so the fact that he's at the head of the sons of Muspet, the Muspet Senior, means that they are probably also related to lava, meaning Muspet claim is related to lava. But that can only come about after Iceland gets settled, because there are no active volcanoes in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
It's got to be
a good
after.
point.
Atreus, here.
It's got to be after, presumably after the 935 Elgau eruption, because that's the big one in the century.
Yeah.
Or I guess there's the settlement Tafra, which is also pretty big. So right around when Iceland gets large settlement, there are a couple of big volcanic eruptions that seem to have affected the surviving mythology quite dramatically. But yes, Grand Chicken Lord, that is exactly what I'm saying. That if you look, my argument is that if Muspet claim predates the 10th century, it was most likely inspired by knowledge that there is something really freaking big and really freaking hot to the south, which is to say, the Sahara Desert. Because
Yeah, I don't see why not.
it is in the south, in all the surviving material. Niflheim is the extreme north, and Muspelheim is the extreme south. And that's possibly very learned, right? That's possibly very learned Christianate stuff, because Christian maps agree. They just agree on that.
Yeah.
And then, but there's no real reason to think that that is unexplainable by coincidence. Right? It might be coincidence, or it might not be coincidence, but it could easily be coincidence.
Yeah.
Because
As with most things.
the Arctic exists and the Sahara exists,
I'm
and
sure it's nothing. He just said the boy
multiple
seemed familiar
people
to him.
can go up and down.
That's impossible.
No, I quite agree. Unless, perhaps, he refers to something yet to be. It is said that when Jormungandr and Thor battle at Ragnarok, their clash
Yes,
so
Mia?
violently shakes the tree of life that it splinters, casting the serpent backward through time, even before his own birth.
What?
That is madness.
Well, I did say not to concern yourself.
Wild. Thank you, Mimia. But yes, would Viking Age Norse people have had much contact with North Africa personally? Yeah. Yeah. Quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
Lots. Actually, more than quite a bit of it. One of the classic examples, actually predating the Viking Age, is from the Scandinavian Bronze Age, where a massive hunk of amber made its way down to Damascus. And while we can't say that was done by a single trader, it does suggest that there was actually an order placed from Damascus to
Niflheim.
Scandinavia
Not sure why
for
anyone would
amber.
want to come here, but here we are.
Smells
And that they
bad.
knew enough to want amber. They knew what amber was anyway.
Exactly, I knew where they could get it, and then the corollary is that that trade route goes the other direction too.
What is that stuff?
Of course.
Weird.
Yes. A strange material.
Now, Niflheim. Hey! Hey, wait, did they actually do Niflheim correctly?
What
Yes,
is
it's
this
misty and not cold.
This mist is cursed.
I don't like the
Cursed?
curse.
Right.
But-
Safe to breathe for a time, but it'll kill if we linger. Just one more reason to love Niflheim.
I mean, I don't love the fact that it's cursed mist, but hey, actually I quite literally recognize that Niflheim is mist home.
Yeah.
Now give me lore.
Let's see.
Vivaldi fucked up. Okay, well that's fair. Give me lore. Wait, what? They're making Motsognir Ivaldi's son? Turn back. Upon this place is the curse of Ivaldi, whose house threatened the gods of Asgard. The mists of Niflheim were made a weapon by my father's alchemy and turned upon their creator. His skill as an inventor and craftsman were unrivaled, but it was his talent and genius which drew the ire of the Aesir in the first place. Therefore, I, Motsognir, renounce this place. I renounce dwarvenkind. I'm off to seek refuge and self-imposed exile in Midgard. Those who do not flee this realm will join my father in the grave. Now, isn't Motsognir older? Yeah. Yeah. He's alongside Durin, one of the first two dwarves created.
Yeah, he's in Voluspa 10.
Yeah. Voluspa stands at 10, mentions Motsognir as greatest of the dwarves, and then Durin as the other one. And that's... Then it lists like, spends like 15 stanzas just describing various dwarf names.
Ah!
Yeah.
Fancy seeing you two here.
So...
There's something written here.
These cursed ruins hold rare mist echoes used for crafting magnificent armor, etc, 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 etc.
This whole place shuffles around each time we leave?
It's a roguelike.
That's incredible.
Atreus, focus. This is a dangerous place.
That's dwarven creativity for you. Impressive and dangerous.
Now, I assume the reason why they're putting making this Niflheim instead of Nidavellir. I'm not super confident, but I'm guessing that's actually also coming out of Voluspa. Because
Sorry, the reason that
it's
Vivaldi and the dwarves are here
are in Niflheim.
Yeah.
Because in the... Oh gosh, I can't remember precisely when it is, but in Voluspa there's a stanza that says that in the northern areas live the sons of Vivaldi. And so presumably they went, well, north is also where Niflheim is, and even though most interpretations say that that's just saying it's a little bit less far north than Niflheim, still definitely leaves it available. Yeah.
Listen, they put too much shit in the north, right? Stuff's gonna
Everything
cross
is just
over eventually.
farther north. Exactly. Alternatively, it's just the TV world from Persona 4.
Ah!
You're not wrong.
Fancy seeing you two here.
You're not wrong. It is just...
I haven't played that, but
Oh, first play Persona 4. I'm near the end of Golden, and it is great. Except the parts that's not. But it is very much just the TV world.
okay.
I suppose less weeby. Anyway, let's just leave Niflheim because we have now seen both those areas. I don't really feel any compulsion to go actually like try them because I don't think we get anything of particular value off of that. And I think we have plenty of, you know, plot to deal with first instead. Maybe if there's time at the end, we'll look at it. Look at them again. But for now,
Why is Odin so desperate to find a way
we are
into
going back.
Jotunheim anyway?
Yes,
He's
Blizzard, I
convinced
did
the
see it.
giants hold the key
I
to
did
changing
see it.
his fate when Ragnarok comes. They are the Aesir's oldest enemies, after all, and it's their army that's supposed to do him in the end. But more than that, he covets their gifts of prophecy. He wants to know what they know and see what they see. So much suffering could have been avoided if his insatiable curiosity was not so much stronger than his wisdom.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Remind me to tell you why they call him the Lord of the Hanged.
Thank you. Peter, that is helpful. So there is one lore shrine we have missed, and apparently it is a doozy.
Yeah.
Because behind the last dwarven favor is one about Starkadr in Sterki. And that's a pretty big name.
What's got you all bumfuzzled
Yes.
over there? Get going.
That's a pretty big name. We like him. He's not a Jotun, technically. He's half Jotun, I believe.
Yeah, he's descended from a Jotun.
Right, I think his father is a Jotun, but he has 6 arms, according to at least one source, and lives for like 300 years, and is the second strongest person in Scandinavia ever after Sigurdur.
Yeah. Does he have? He doesn't have 6 arms in the Goitrek saga version, right?
I
I
can't
think he's
remember.
just a dude.
I think he does in Goitrek Saga, because I think it's in Norna Gestlauter that he just has like 2. And when he gets his like face punched in by Sigurdur. I can't remember.
Either way, he's also like an actual giant with, I think with 8 arms in Gesta Denorum, right?
Yeah, you're right. I think he has 8 in Jester the Norm, and then he's just like a normal dude in Goitrek Saga.
Yeah, and I think in the Icelandic stuff, he's mostly just a dude, or just a giant. But I don't think he has multiple arms.
Yeah.
Although I'm
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
not-
sure. Luckily, we are in. He's all over the sources. Is the annoying thing, right? He's one of our best detested legendary figures because he's got like
Yeah.
6. Da, 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 da. Maybe. Well, maybe it is in Goitrek Saga that. I do not remember. The problem is, right, Goitrek Saga and the Justice of the Norm mostly agree with each other, and that makes remembering which one where they diverge very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not based on a real dude, but is not a god. He is not a mythological figure, this dude. He is solidly within the realm of mortals, even though, according to both the Justice Denorum and Goitrek Saga, he lives for 300 years.
Yeah, he's like a comparable figure to obviously Sigurdur, but also to somebody like Egil.
Yeah.
Who's like a super strong, mortal, legendary kind of champion, but
Exactly.
who is sort of patronized by a god or gods.
Yeah, though I don't know I would want the patronage in these accounts of it, because,
Well,
Another name.
Odin's giving him all this stuff. I mean, I don't know if I would want to live for 300 years, but he gives him all this
It's been
stuff.
made into a
But then
memorial
Thor
to the
hates him because he's
Valkyries.
half Jotun, which, that definitely makes sense because nobody else among the Aesir is half Jotun.
also, they live for 3 lifetimes, but also commit 3 absolutely horrible things in that lifetime, in each lifetime. Not a great deal, I won't lie.
Well, that's Thor. That's Thor that curses him with the 3
yeah.
bad things.
Yeah,
Odin gives him the span of 3 lives, victory in battle, and gifts of poetry and other things. Thor, on the other hand, gives him 3 nefarious deeds, frequent injury, i.e. in battle, and a bad memory, so he can't remember his own poems.
yep,
So it's like balance.
love the balance.
Love the balance.
Oh.
But yeah. CMAC gives 2 entries, one for the Germanic hero, and one for the giant, who is in a fragmentary stanza by the Icelander Verliði Sumarliðsson, 10th century. The stanza suggests that Starkadr was one of the many other giants and giantesses who were supposedly killed by Thor.
Okay.
Uncertain whether he might be identical with the known saga hero Starkadr in the following
Fair enough.
entry.
Thank you, Rudy Seamack, yet again.
Rudy.
But yeah, he's super cool. He also appears really late. Right, so he's on the map of Scandinavia made by Olaus Magnus.
Oh yeah.
He just like
I
vibes
can't
in
believe
like
no one has found
Estonia.
the Jotunheim Tower after so many years. Where would you hide
I mean, who
something
doesn't
that
vibe
big?
in Estonia though?
True, true. Actually, I think he's in Bjarmaland. Now that I think on it, I feel like I just said wrong things.
Is that supposed to be Permia, right?
Yeah,
Come here. How'd you come to
way
be
up
these
by like
lands?
the Kola Peninsula.
And we'll pick this up later.
Peter follows up. He says, in the God of War universe, Odin was paranoid about him. I'm assuming Starkadr.
Yo,
So he spread a bunch of lies about how he is doing monstrous things, formed a mob, and when Starkadr turned himself in to try and claim his innocence, Thor ripped 6 of his 8 arms off, and he bled out.
unlucky.
Tears rune. This is it.
Extremely unlucky, honestly.
Yeah.
No.
Give yourself up. It'll be
One
easier
side.
that way.
But what is
If they
this
didn't
place?
give up, if he didn't give up,
Your
Thor
guess
would have
is as
ripped
good
off
as
all
mine,
8 of his
Nova.
arms. That's the only thing he got. He only got 6 arms ripped off, but he still died.
Yup. Yup. Now, what is this spooky place? Hello, spooky.
The tree. We're underneath the realm travel room. But why is the floor on the ceiling?
That is a
Those
good
realm
question.
doors seem to mirror the ones above.
Uh-huh. So are we going to have to like flip the boat upside down like this is Pirates of the Caribbean or something?
Yeah.
Nailed it. I mean, to be fair, the idea of flipping a boat over as a way of passing from one world to another,
Up there. See it?
not
Pretty
a,
cool.
not a bad choice.
No, I like it because it's it plays
Up
on
there.
It's
the
not-
water
Here,
is a
use
portal to
same
the other
magic
world,
to protect the black rune.
Exactly.
The clue we seek may be inside.
and is like a mirror
Huh.
at the same time.
Right next to the Jotunheim door.
Yeah.
Interesting. But can we reach it?
Not from here.
Now.
Oh, what's behind there?
Probably nothing good. Hello. Spooky.
Well, one inner sanctum within another.
Those tapestries. Looks like more giant.
Neat.
Whatever it's here did for them. must
For
have
this
been big.
dude, legendary in the sense of we have him written as a human character in sources, but there's no other way to verify whether he ever actually existed. But he's in various cultural lore streams as being a person who was some sort of forebear of the history of these nations
Exactly.
and their kings and things.
Legendary meaning it's only superheroes instead of gods.
Yes, exactly.
Now I want to check the style on one thing. Because I just want to check the... Because my instinct here is that the stylings are not quite... Well... Answer's indifferent. I was looking at the Oseberg tapestry to see if the tapestry figures here are explicitly, right, in the same visual style. The results are inconclusive.
Yeah, not
It's
really.
It's not far off, but it seems more like a later runestone style.
Yeah, like the male figure does not look like any of the figures on the Oseberg, but the woman does.
But except that she's missing like the overcloak.
Yeah, she doesn't have the hood or the floating scepter / spear in front of her.
Exactly. What? Also, there's dead people problems here. We seem to be back.
Dead people.
Even in the most secret of all secret places, they can't
Yeah,
get
right.
away from being like, what if we had a random dead guy?
With mushrooms growing on him.
Exactly. I don't really understand why.
Whoa, who are they?
The Hall of Tears. They are going to come to life and ruin our day. So... Don't ask questions.
Boy, this is the rune for Jotunheim.
That's right. And look, we're on the other side of the door.
The upside-down door.
What are you thinking?
Stand back.
Okay.
Oh boy. Well, it's not clear to me what you are thinking, but that's okay.
The Kratos solution.
Kratos is okay. Well, that's one way to do it. Yep.
What's moving?
Everything. Come on, we're just gonna turn literal. Ah, there's chains.
Extraordinary. The whole room is built on some kind of axle.
There's chains on both sides. Without those,
We can flip the temple.
all right.
Do what now?
Uh-oh. Things are happening.
What? Who could have predicted this?
Okay. I don't think they're attacking. Want me to read this one?
Yes.
Boy, on the statues.
I see them. It says boy.
Ominous.
Oither?
Go
Lother?
on. Read.
I think it's Oither.
Before the
Oh,
first,
yeah.
after the last. Nothing between, no shadow cast. Alpha.
Oither.
Are you quite sure?
Oh, yeah, that
flipping
is a
the temple
bind
is
group,
the
isn't it?
only way to reach them, whatever it is.
No, I think it's just
You said it would be a path.
an A rune, but
temple
it's just
can
the,
be
the
flipped.
top tine is just
Therefore,
kind of
we flip the
wobbly.
temple.
Okay.
It's like
Logic
too
is
straight.
unassailable.
Okay, fair enough.
Too straight.
Not sure what happens when we recklessly upend a room that's rooted to 8 other realms. I'm curious, of course, but it's a leap
Yeah,
to
yeah.
imagine it
Don't
gets
worry.
us to
No,
Jotunheim.
we got this
I
covered.
don't mind a lead.
Well, who knows? Perhaps you and Tyr are the same kind of mad.
Oh, hey, look. Lore. Give lore, please. What lore do you have
Look
for us
here.
today?
Another.
It says his name is Bergelmir. I think Mother said he was the king of the giants.
Okay.
Aye, that he was.
Okay.
And quite a bit more.
Looks like he had a lot of kids.
And then
That,
they all
brother,
died.
is what we call an understatement.
He's dead, but nobody killed him. Do giants die from old age?
They may, though it's rare among the legends.
Wait, what?
Apparently he just died. But Bergelmir is another one of those who's a real historical figure. Well, real mythical figure. Real fake. In the Prose Edda, he is the only one, okay, he's like one of two to survive the Great Flood that occurs when Odin and Vili and Vie murder the shit out of Ymir, and his blood forms the oceans. All of the Jotnar, except Bergelmir and like one other, survive, or all die, sorry, and from Bergelmir descended the entirety of the race of the, well, I think the Prose Edda uses Hrimthurs there, so the ice giants, but we can say the
Yeah.
Jotnar.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing where the mythical poems always talk about the Hrimthursar. Well, not always, but several times. And then everywhere else there's just Jotnar.
Yep. Okay, we got another spicy take. This spicy take is going to set up another spicy take later. And this comes to us from actually preeminent scholar Heather O'Donoghue, who published about this in 2014 and continues to give talks about it. That argues that the Old English poem Beowulf is in fact chock full of references to Norse myth. Some of these are not surprising, in that they are, like Sigemund is cognate with Sigmundur. That's not spicy. That's just like obvious if you have a brain.
Yeah, it's just
But
a fact.
She argues that there's actually a lot more, and that those lot more actually are indicative of someone, whoever at some point stage in the poem's life cycle really had a good awareness of something that looks like the extant Norse myths and was adding them in deliberately. Well, in Beowulf, this dude, Sigamund actually is cognate with Sigurdur, because Sigamund is made the Dragon Slayer, but Sigmundur is Sigurdur's father, and completely fails to kill any dragons in the Norse selection of the material, or the Middle High German selection of material. So, you know,
No, yeah.
we think the Old English is probably just wrong here.
He kills lots of people, no dragons.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
What does this one say? D-A-U... Diver... Diver... Freelier? Die freely.
Where?
In the...
Oh, below.
Yeah. Diver... That looks like an F to me. F-R-I Thorn... L-I-G-R. Drottning...
Friðeyr? Friðeyr.
I think it's Friðvigur.
Like die peacefully?
Yeah, or a peaceful death.
Yeah. Yeah, peaceful death.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Drottning Sirgir. S-I-R-G-J-I-R.
Sögir, like sorrows, laments, weeps.
Sure. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Wait, you
Sir-
said Seer.
Sirgir.
What the hell is Sirgir?
I'm not sure.
Zoega, to me!
Uh-huh. Con... Oh, Morns? Because the other one is Konung. So,
Yeah,
It's
that's
gotta
I
be
jumped.
Morns.
I thought it was Sorg, but it was maybe
it's
If it's
possibly
Sir-
related. Okay, so there's nothing interesting on that panel, even though it could have given us a juicy bit of information. Did we get another statement
Again
of
with the
things?
death traps.
Sorry, we may have gotten another statement of stuff. A compliment. And this dude with 2 gifty subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those little gifty things. To if R&D posts or some silica are around, enjoy your emotes. Now. Thank you, Death Traps. Well, that's not helpful.
I don't see anything that's SIRG.
Yeah. I'm not sure at all how I'm going to get through 3 of these. I suppose I actually need to sync. It's like I need to sync that with that. Those 2 go up, then that one goes down. Go down again, pull that back. That should sync all of them up pretty... No. I botched it. I botched it in a way that's going to be really annoying to fix, isn't it?
I mean, something I really like for Stefan's compliment thing. Something I really like about this game is just I mean, besides these interior environments, I really like the landscape environments.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really pretty. The Lake of the Nine is just explicitly styled on Iceland. But it's quite nice because it's like an Iceland where it's always summer and it's always sunny.
True.
Which is a beautiful Iceland, although it's very rare.
Honestly, you'll love to see it.
It's exceedingly beautiful when the sun is shining and there's all these colors of greens and blacks from the volcanic stone and all these types of moss, and there's flowers and even bees and stuff. Lots of birds and things. It's very nice.
Yeah. I love that. Big fan.
And it's cool because it's quite variable too. Like there's a beach. I think it's probably sunk low now enough in the Lake of the Nine, you can go there and there's like big chunks of ice on the shore, and it's kind of like the Diamond Beach in southeastern Iceland.
Oh, great. Love it.
There's also like a
I
giant
thought, brother,
corpse
why
there,
don't you
which is
let the
cool,
lad
you know.
carry me for a while?
And let you miss this? No.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Love it. Well, looks like we've got nothing to go except just like, no, I can't hop up there.
I also like the idea that this like fire rim on the ceiling and along this hallway is just it's eternally burning.
Oh yeah, just infinite fuel. Ignore that how like fire works, but you know we'll pretend it's like Konung Skuxiao commenting about lava being made of cold fire. Then therefore it like doesn't actually burn trees or something. Konung Skuxiao is weird.
Weird.
No, seriously, where is the... Look below the block, that's what I've been trying to do. Those aren't explodable things. Oh wait, yes they are. Duh. I said explodable things, and that's actually caused it to click as to what I'm supposed to do. They are
Yes.
literally explodable things. Hello? Kaboom! Explodable things. Alright, I can at least land on this without dying. So that's something. Is the answer just run fast, be good?
Probably.
Flawless. Honestly, a flawless victory.
The chain! We made it!
Time to do what you do, brother.
Leave them in peace.
Obviously not referring to us.
Get their
Med.
meth spec. What?
Yeah. I would have expected Frieder there.
Yeah.
But
Spec,
yes.
the word for
As peace is gotta be.
I'm looking.
Hello, Solaria.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Alright.
S-P-E-K-T, feminine, quietness, peace, 2 wisdom.
Alright. We take it.
An unlikely word, but okay.
They have been really on point with how the runes are actually doing Old Norse. And that the Old Norse actually says what Atreus says it says.
Look out!
Yeah.
Neither
no,
of which are
that's-
guaranteed things.
No, yeah, I even though it's not perfect, because nothing ever is going to be perfect, and I don't bother expecting perfection,
Ow.
I still think they did a really good job. Like I said, I just like seeing Eds and Thorns and Ashes in a Western game on Old Norse stuff.
Honestly. If only their pronunciation could actually reflect that.
Yeah.
Right,
Which really would not have been that hard to do, but...
Exactly. Ow. Heck. Ow. Ow. Heck. That's right, these guys aren't overall too bad. Even when I'm losing. They don't do a lot of damage
Nah.
anymore. They just don't do a lot
Not
of
at this
damage.
point, no.
Oh heck. There are more of
At this
them?
point, it's like
There's more of
there's
them.
like side content that starts being much more difficult, but the main content
Exactly.
is kind of.
Did they just get
Which
squished?
I do
Tell
like.
me they all just got squished. Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to clear this again in order to get my way back. In order to finish this, I actually have to like clear this in a way that's useful.
You could maybe line of sight them, and they just might come over to you
I
and
could
get
try,
squished.
Yeah? I believe. I feel like that's cheating, but I believe.
This is war. We must use any available advantage.
Yeah. Nope. They seem to be
No, they're
insistent
just-
on insistent
Just
on
shooting their.
being spam. That's alright. Making it back is actually quite straightforward. Get punched.
Just die in one hit.
Get punched a bunch. Oh, was that actually it? Was that the entire combat complex? Okay.
It is rare, Grand Chicken Lord. Usually it's just gibberish, and then the characters just say something. They're like, ah, yes, this is Malthukada. And you're like, nice.
Those are
That's a
totally,
real word, I bet.
Those are totally words. There you are, friend. Ow. Hey, don't be like this. Don't be like this. No reason to be like this. Ah, I thought I rolled him. Shame.
If we could create our own Norse-inspired game, what would we center the story around?
A great question. Honestly, a really excellent question. When I
I
know, I'll
would
tell you.
probably, yeah. I don't know about the story, because I'm really big, obviously, into the Fortnite saga. I just think they're just fun. They're just a blast, and
They
they're
are
really
fun.
weird. They blend, of course, because they're like a later, quote-unquote, genre or corpus of literature. They blend elements of the Islandinga saga with more mythical stuff. So they're kind of like the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
And something a bit different. But I think it would be cool if you were playing as characters
Come.
of
The other
each
two
generation, because many sagas are multi-generational,
Mm-hmm.
and so your character will just die, and then you'll take up the role of his son or blood brother or something like that, like another character who's part of the same or the next generation, and you do like a multi-generational kind of saga story about like a feud or a vengeance quest, more likely, and something like this.
Yeah, I mean that's the spot where there's like a lot of room for like a procedural narrative to be really successful. Where you have
Yeah,
permanent
really,
death,
because then it could be different every time.
permanent death with your friend being just like, oh yeah, you know, you die, your friend comes in, or right, you try and do a thing, you fail,
it's
the
the
next
other
generation has to
Variety
take
is
care of
so
that.
important.
And also, hello,
Yeah.
Sophie. Good to see you, my friend. But right, that would be a spot where I think there's actually a lot of room.
I truly do hate this part.
I know.
Yeah, that would be so
was-
much fun.
That was dumb of me. Lining these two up actually doesn't help me in any way. Not yet. So I need to try and get these two opposite each other so I can line the two and line those two up. Then get you stopped.
There you go, you got it.
Get you up so I can get you stopped.
Yeah, it'd be cool
I
because it
screwed
would be
that up.
like in heavy rain, like you can actually just get main characters killed, and the game just keeps going. The story just keeps going.
Exactly.
And it would be like that, except in a multi-generational sense.
Exactly. I hope I'm able to make it through this, because I'm going to go for it. Hey, easy. Not even a little bit hard. Ignore the fact that that was not well done. But right, yeah, like that would... I think that would work a lot better. Just... Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, I was just saying the genre, the quote-unquote genre, of the Fornalder saga. But if you just want to Google, you can just Google legendary sagas, as they're often called.
Yep.
These are like the saga, like Volsunga saga, the saga about Sigurd the Dragon Slayer. But before it reaches Sigurd, it's about his ancestors and their time as king and avenging their fathers, and
All the way back to...
having children with their sisters, things like this.
Yeah. Generally not a good look.
No.
So that...
Divine incest and semi-divine incest, in the sense of like a legendary hero who's descended from a god, is always just... I've never really understood the purpose of these tropes.
Neither have I.
It's just like a very bizarre part of like every world religion and mythology, it seems.
Uh-huh. Huh. Let me pull this out of fuel. In here. Yeah, I'll be honest, I have no real sense why they would do that either.
It's just so common though, like it's in every...
So, it's
Almost
so
every
common,
mythology.
but also so weird.
Right.
It's so weird. Like that's the thing, is like it's all over the place, but nobody's... Either I've never encountered a satisfactory explanation, which is probable anyway. I don't do a lot of comparative religion
Neither do
reading
I.
stuff. But it just seems like I don't think anybody else has a good grasp of why it's so prevalent.
I'm sure
Maybe
there's
it's
been a
just
lot
like
of people, things written on it,
Yeah.
but, yeah, especially with, like, I mean, given that in a Norse context it's usually framed as explicitly bad, and yet people keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, and it's like... Okay, to be fair to Sigmund, you know, his sister was swapped hookers with a traveling witch woman.
Exactly.
still.
To be fair, the blame is not really on Sigmundur for this one.
On Signy, though.
It's pretty much all on his twin sister, which only doesn't help.
Yeah, it might be mostly an Indo-European thing. I don't know about...
Gods grow good.
Could be quite a wait.
No.
The thing with mythology is
They're
that
just
it's
waiting for
all
us.
fucking weird, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's in like ancient Chinese and Japanese mythology.
yeah.
It could be like I feel like one of the explanations I've heard is something about like, oh, like the gods can do it because the gods' world is governed by completely alien rules, and it's not something for humans, but it's okay maybe when these two gods do it or something like that. But
I don't-
even in Old Norse, it's kind of like that doesn't really pass because there's the whole thing about, you know, when Freya and Freyr come to join the Aesir. I think it's in the... Is it in Heimskringla where it says that when they come and join? It's like, oh, it was the tradition to like intermarry like that, and have children with your close relatives among the Vanir. But then
Yes.
Odin says you can't do that here.
That is absolutely a Heimskringla thing.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Well, that almost worked. Ow. Spin to win. Let's go.
Yes, Loki does say that in Lakasena. He accuses Freya of, I have to say the full thing because it's such a great burn and it's such a wonderful quote. He says, "You were astride your brother, and then Freya, you farted." After all the laughing gods saw you as you were caught you as you were astride your brother, and then Freya, you farted.
Yes.
Mic drop.
Yep.
Drunken stumble away.
I think, I don't know, like there's definitely room I think to read that one as being pretty learned. Right, a little bit more of being modeled, at least partially subconsciously, off of things like, you know, the Greek gods catching Ares and
Yeah.
Aphrodite together,
Aphrodite. Yeah.
and then all laughing at them.
Yeah, because Hephaestus makes that like weird contraption to trap
Exactly.
Ares.
Right. Yeah, it feels like there's enough of a reflex there. Also, the fact that they are, well, I suppose they technically aren't related. Just by virtue of Aphrodite's being such a weird figure.
Yeah.
But,
Aphrodite's origin myth. Good times.
exactly.
But also, yes, Loki is also just insulting literally everybody, so... He just happens to also be right for most of these insults. But he can honestly also just be shit-talking, and it would still be the same story.
Yeah. Ow. Heck. Heck. Get that up. Boom. We're good. And then we'll hit this. Should basically maul all of them. Look at me remembering to actually use my lunas.
Nice!
Yeah! Let's
Boy.
go.
Yes, sir?
Time to flip the temple.
Yes, sir.
Let's just agree to stop saying flip the temple. It's starting to sound normal.
No, the point is that it's normal. Hey look! I just put them all nice and neat in a line so I can just kind of slow walk my way through. Isn't that kind of them? Okay. Now then. I believe...
An army of statues.
I don't think they're the kind that come to life, if that's what you're worried about. Tyr often said that in the world of peace he envisioned, the only soldiers he'd need would be statues. Bless his heart, but the bugger did take himself rather seriously, didn't he?
Uh-huh. Tyr. Tyr. Famously the god who is completely useless at all things resembling making people get along. Only needing an army of statues.
Brothers, I know what I promised.
Yep.
But in case this doesn't work, just remember, Tyr had good cause to create these obstacles.
Uh-huh.
He's kept Jotunheim out of Odin's reach, but the world is hardly at peace.
Uh-huh.
No, but it's got hope. We're all working together now.
Are we?
We have unity.
Are we?
That's what the rune on the door to this place was telling us. We're
that-
on Tyr's path.
Is that how any of that works? Unity. This...
Lift with your legs, brother.
The Unity
He
engine.
knows.
Just
We've
trying
solved
to
it.
be helpful.
True. True. I don't think this game was thinking about that.
No.
I mean... Actually, I know for a fact Unity cannot do something anywhere near this big. Also,
No.
Kratos, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is nuts.
I mean, Kratos has some crazy feats of strength, but this might be the craziest.
Yeah.
On the day that brute force is the answer, I'll be quite happy to be on your side, brother. And we're not dead. That's a plus.
There.
Yep.
On the left. I think we can climb back up to the realm travel room from there.
Okay. Oh yeah, we can. We can just, like, go up. Hello.
I can't tell if this is more
that
impressive,
mimic?
flipping the temple, or
Nobody can do all this alone.
back in the
All
beginning
these
when he puts it back on its
They're just
axle,
chances to prove we're the
and
ones
then
who
just
can beat
fucking
them.
pushes the whole
We
thing.
may argue.
Either of those...
Me and Father, you and Freya, Brock and Sindri. But when we all work together, we do make a good team. And that's Tyr's test. That's why we're gonna make it to Jotunheim.
Do you hear that, brother? Lad's found his equilibrium.
What's that mean?
It means you speak wisely, Atreus. And that is good to hear.
Yeah,
Aw.
so it's time for everything to go horribly wrong again, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, we made like one step of progress. Who's ready for the arbitrary bad news?
Yeah.
Do I want to know why there's a mask here?
the classic RPG thing. Like a simple quest just becomes ever more convoluted as more and more problems arise and more steps get
It's-
put in between.
Roy,
It's good
your
writing.
knife.
Yeah. Certainly classic. Driva.
Uh-huh. And there is the thing missing.
Well, what have we got?
Some sort of travel stone.
Let me see. Great Outdumblers. That's the Unity Stone.
You know it.
Theme.
I wasn't sure it existed. If Tyr possessed this, that explains how he could visit all the realms and other lands to boot.
Again, why? Why is that a bit that they
He
throw
held
in?
this in the panel in Odin's library.
Yes. Yes, that's it. I understand now. It shows Tyr walking the realm between realms. You know how you must never stray from the path? Well, Tyr always followed his own path, if you catch my meaning.
Uh-huh.
The realm between realms.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Just give me 15,000 XP that I can't actually use. Love it. Love that. Because I don't really have a lot to spend them on right now. I guess I can see if... Yeah, you're already upgraded all the way. I like these runics, so I'm not gonna worry about those.
That's not a bad theory. I like that. What
Well,
Lizard in the Dark said.
Yeah, the idea that Tyr spent his whole life being shit at peace, but wishing he was not shit at peace.
So he ran around trying to learn from other cultures about how to do peace, and then he came back and built the temple.
Yeah, I don't hate that one either by any means. I think that's as good of an explanation as you can get,
Yeah.
because there just isn't. That's pretty much the only way to reconcile. I think that is pretty much the only way to reconcile just how far off.
Yeah.
Tyr is in this game versus in the.
It's also predicated like our reading of Tyr being not like this being a weird
So
reading
you're
of
saying
Tyr,
Tyr's shrine showed him stepping
and this
off the branch of the
reconciliation that
world.
Lizard offered
And you're
is
thinking
predicated on us.
To reach the secret
Oh wait,
path to Jotunheim,
Trace
that's
is
what we
talking.
need to do?
Atreus is talking.
Oh dear. That is what you're thinking, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. What did you think we were going to be thinking?
The Kratos solution.
Okay.
Anyway, it's predicated on us assuming that they know that Tyr, that line about Tyr being shit at negotiating peace and truces.
Yeah, but it's in the prose Edda.
I know it's like in the
it's not-
section about Tyr.
It's not subtle,
You two
It's not
going in or
obscure,
what?
so
but it's sort of at odds with the popular
Let's sort
conception
you
of
out.
Tyr,
that's true.
which can override things even when you're reading them on the page in front of your face. For better or for worse. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it makes sense, and I think the overall thing they were going for is that he goes around learning from other cultures, and he's obsessed with learning and sharing culture, and so he's sort of just like like a proto-hacker who's just like, free information. Fuck the man. I mean, what is the Unity Stone but not a fucking backdoor? I don't know. I don't know.
Honestly, true.
I don't know network hacking terms. Backdoor is one though. A Trojan. It's a Trojan. No, it's not what a Trojan.
Let's see if we can upgrade it. I don't think I have any other ones.
Tier founded anonymous. Yes.
Would be very funny.
Yes, free information is good, Wolfie.
Okay. There's nothing useful in any of these, I think. Like, there's absolutely nothing of value in any of these. These are all just worse than what we've got. So I think it is time for us to just...
You hitting the road or chewing the fat?
Actually, I want to make sure
I'm open.
I want to make sure we've got things that are actually helpful.
Okay, while you're doing this, I'm just gonna step away for one moment.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm just because we're entering endgame now, so I wanted to make sure yes that we have a resurrection stone.
Moving on then.
Right on.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we've got a bit of time before the next thing. So this dude, Kratos doesn't have hats. I cannot equip a hat. Kind of interested in the weird tier thing with foster parent roles, where there's some discussion. Those two different fathers identified for tier represent a birth father and a foster father, and then there's a thing about him fostering Fenrir. So that's possible, right? Fosterage is not something really done in the mythological corpus, despite it being locally really
Okay, I'm back.
popular. Okay, I was just looking at Lizard's last comment regarding like the confusion between Odin versus Hymir being Tyr's parents being a sort of fosterage, and just exploring what the I don't hate it. It's definitely a valid take, but I think
Because
there's-
his other father would be Odin, right?
yeah, there's kind of two problems with this that I foresee. Firstly, fosterage is not something really done a whole lot in the mythological corpus, despite it being super common culturally.
Yeah, true.
Right here would be absolutely an anomaly with that. But second, if there's a kind of a social status thing here that's an issue, I feel like could be an issue. Because it depends on who you think is the biological parent versus who is the foster parent. Insofar as the
Yeah.
biological parent is something that has meaning, which is not entirely true. But right, if Hymir is the parent, we run into a bigger problem than if Odin is the parent, right? Because fostering down is definitely socially considered more acceptable or more widely practiced than fostering socially up rank. And Odin is definitely about as high of a rank as you can possibly get.
Yeah, that's so. Wait, it's when you say fostering up is the respectable way.
No, fostering down is the respectable way. Right, fostering
Like
up
a
is,
like a
fostering
If you're
up
thinking
is
about hurling us all
great
into
if
the
you're the
void,
foster parent. Right. If you can get someone higher rank than you to agree to it, amazing, proud of you.
yeah,
But
right.
it's
'cause
not
then you-
done very often because that's fostering someone from a lower social rank is bad form.
Right, right. You have to be equal or higher.
Exactly. So
That's okay. Yes.
largely,
Although
yeah,
it does happen.
it does happen absolutely. It happens quite famously with Snorri Sturluson actually,
Mm-hmm.
where it's actually dead even, but the richest man in Iceland gets the second richest man in Iceland to foster his son as part of a legal settlement. That son's name is Snorri Sturluson.
Yep.
But I was
Because
also
at that
thinking,
time the Ardverjar were ostensibly the most powerful.
yeah, though the Sturlungar were well on the rise, and Jon
Yeah.
Lofsson was not exactly making the best decisions.
No, yeah, and that's yeah.
But I was also thinking of like in Jarl Saga, you know how it's a freed slave fosters all of Njal Thorgerdsson's children.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's much more common, where it's a formerly enslaved person becomes foster parent for their previous owner's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, not necessarily an
quite sure.
equitable
Wasn't
thing.
it your idea? Find our own path, right?
Bollocks.
Well, let's go. I'm sure nothing bad will happen here.
This is where Tyr stepped beyond, and the Unity Stone protected him.
3, 2, 1, yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Well, if this is it, lads, it's been an honor.
Our faith head.
3, 2, 1. Just do it. Absolutely no fear.
Incredible!
Absolutely no
Yeah.
fear. Just dunk on Indiana Jones a little bit. You love to see it.
Yeah.
What were the details of that legal
Oh.
case?
How can I be so nauseous without a stomach?
Come on. That was great.
Look,
The tower. I knew there was something down here.
Amazing! How do you hide something that exists in all realms? Cast it out of any realm to the space between. Clever old Tyr.
Is Jotunheim on the other side?
Can't be that. It's not like you go through Vanaheim to reach the Midgard Peak.
but how do we use it?
I'd suggest we look inside, but stay alert. Tyr's little challenges are never as simple as they appear.
Okay.
I have noticed.
Are you done talking? Thank you. Okay, let's pick up the plot. So the plot for Jon Lofsson versus Sturla Thordarson, or from Sturla Thordarson, I should say, is Sturla really freaking likes old stories. That's actually where it needs to begin, and so lots of people are. He gets poets to tell stories. This is probably where Snorri gets his first exposure to the Norse mythology that he codifies in the Prose Edda. Is probably as a kid in his dad's hall. And
Yeah.
so he's also actively at war with Jon Lofsson literally all the time. So sometime around 1200, at an assembly, a priest's wife attempts to stab out von Sturla's eye, claiming that since he likes Odin so much, he should look like him. The stab misses, but von Sturla is able to successfully pin the assassination attempt on Jon Lofsson, and as part of the settlement for that, forces Jon Lofsson to foster his son Snorri. So, Snorri ends up being educated at Oddaverja, and probably gets exposure to Latin texts, though he never was able to read Latin.
Yeah,
We
most
think.
likely not.
Probably.
We think, yeah. And Adi was a very prominent,
Well, this is sparse.
though secular center of
pedestal.
learning, and it had probably one of the best libraries in all of Iceland.
I'd say it's either that or Thingeyrar, right? As like the two
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, that's why I said one of.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a
I'd-
specific historian in that respect, but I know it was very important, and Snorri basically got one of the best educations you could get at the time without going to the continent.
Yeah.
But certainly the best in Old Norse
no!
lore.
It took the stone.
Tower. It's absorbing the stone's energy.
Well, this is probably bad.
Something's happening. Is it moving?
Something's always happening, Atreus.
Knows what to do. The stone served its purpose. We're fulfilling Tyr's spell.
Yeah, this seems like a bad
What
idea.
happens now?
No idea, brother. But after that fall, I'm sure we're past the worst of it.
Many
Mimir.
enemies.
Mimir, why would you say that?
Oh, no, this is considerably worse.
Honestly.
Yeah, just to clarify the thing about fostering up and fostering down for Lizard. Just think of it in terms of the social aspect, like the way that marriages in pre-modern societies were mostly for creating social connections and blood connections between prominent families. It was done as a sort of economic and social exchange. So how would you use fosterage as a I don't know, social function to increase one's social standing or economic standing, or just your ties to a more prosperous family or clan? You would have your son fostered by either another powerful family, so equal, or if you can convince them, like Kvam Sturla did with Jon Lopson, you somebody more powerful to foster your son.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought you were confused about the take my son, please. Yes, I thought you were confused about the fostering up versus fostering down. But between the
Yeah.
Oddverjar and the Sturlangar?
Okay. This is not going awesomely. Don't touch my bridge ruins. That's alright. We've got a little bit of ruin anyway. There we go. Heck. And I died. That's alright. That's why we got the stone, right? We can just pick up another one and go again. That was not really what I wanted to do, but that's alright.
I mean, it could technically go both ways because you could also manipulate somebody or legally force them, as Kvam Sturla did, into this kind of position, which is sort of like making them your subservient by forcing them to take your child and use their resources and their time and money to educate and raise them.
Yep. Heck. I keep hitting the wrong button. And I died.
Come on, get up,
I died properly this time. Unlucky.
Damn.
We'll try that again. No big deal. This is a pretty rough fight, actually. There's just a lot of people here.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's like the obligatory like combination of all the different realm
Exactly. I mean, it's clearly
enemies.
it's an endgame fight. It acts like an endgame fight does.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to fight everything with all the annoyance of all of the things. No, go away. I will just roll quick there. Don't juggle me. Don't juggle me like that. You're not allowed to juggle me like that.
Yeah, I mean, there are always exceptions to these rules, of course. Like, for instance, another kind of attitude or behavior that was very socially valued in ancient and medieval Scandinavia was kind of this munificence or willingness to like share your wealth freely. This idea of like greedy kings always meet a bad end because they don't like to share their gold out freely with their loyal men, and it always ends badly for them. So there are, of course, like kings and stories of prominent figures, kings, rulers, chiefs, whatever, fostering, like pitiable families, their promising sons or something that impresses them at court or something like this. But in terms of like the reality, like that's like more of a literary thing. It probably also happened in reality, but specifically in Iceland, where there are no kings, there's just powerful clans and ruling chieftains. It was more the other system that we explained.
Yeah.
No gods or kings, only Snorri.
Exactly. Honestly, don't. Stop being rude. There we go. That should help. Or not, because I'm still bad. Really? Don't be like that.
You considered a tactical retreat.
Don't exactly have that choice. Thank you.
That was tough. Where do you think it's taking us next?
I do not know.
So that went poorly. That's
Oh
bad.
no! We're
This
back
is
in
bad.
hell?
Oh dear, here they come.
Hopefully there's some health. Back. That's alright. We can heal off of these guys, no problem. Ah, there's so many of them. That's quite bad, actually. That's alright, we should be able to spin to win reasonably well here. Alright, that's that one dead. Heal. Run over here, heal again.
Right side.
The ancient Norse parent trap.
True.
That's also clear. The clear ancient Norse parent trap.
Surely that's enough of that.
Which thing? Well then.
This won't be good.
Yep, I did see the spicy take. That's not the best news in the world. That's worse? That's worse.
Ogre and Tool at the same time. Sure, that's fair.
Let's just do that real quick. I want to actually put this away so I can punch this guy. I want to get this guy up. Ow. Heck. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Because I don't know, maybe I can do damage to this guy off of that. Oh, I did a little bit.
Joy the Munner.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that name is even supposed to be.
Mouth
Dead-
of Death?
I
Dead mouth?
Is it
Oh,
mouth or
it's the-
thought? Or yeah,
Munner should
memory,
be mouth,
sorry.
right?
I could also be related to like Munin.
Yeah. No, let me check.
Could either be like dead mouth or dead memory.
I could just see the name being like Mouth of Death or something that they want to do.
Yeah, I mean this is the part that is consistently the most dubious. The fire boot is not a good look though.
Oh no, you were right. Munner with two N's is mouth. Munner with one N is difference, but also, let's see. Moment?
Interesting.
It has many things.
A common word.
I guess, yeah, moment of death, I think is maybe what they were going for. That's the only definition here under Munner, which would make sense. But again, like, Joy the...
Yeah, the boss team doesn't really have any idea what they're doing.
Like, moment with respect to death? I don't fucking know.
I got nothing.
Bad breath, yes. If it was with two ends, then yes.
Let's see what the journal. Let's see what the journal actually says. Now that we just killed him,
Yeah.
that should help.
Death Eater? Oh god.
If that's what that's supposed to be, that's just not
I think
correct.
it's over.
Aye. But
There's
where
like
are we?
several words for eat. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't. That it doesn't even say. We just says dirty mooner.
Okay.
Helpful. Well then, was that it? Are we done? Can we just open the door now? We can just open the door now.
Huh.
Well, would you look at that?
Got him.
Look, we're back in Midgard. There's the bridge. We
And
did it. The tower's back where it belongs.
this is not
Now
good
Tyr's
news.
travel room can take us to Jotunheim.
How did Tyr do this?
Odin suspected the giant secretly possessed some remnant of primordial Jotnar creative essence. The stuff all realms were made of. The Unity Stone must have been fashioned from that essence. To trust an outsider with it, even Tyr, tells you just how desperate they were.
And look, now we can finally light all the braziers and see what happens.
Oh boy. Nothing good, I suspect.
Just seeing what things happen.
Another name.
What name do you think this is?
Groindel.
Oh, Gundel.
Someone who
Alright.
loved the Valkyries enough to do this. I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
Uh-huh. Light all the braziers to get Sigrun?
Yes.
Or not. Or not.
I mean, there's no real reason to. It's just an intense fight,
Exactly.
and some lore is revealed, but
Exactly. Or we can not, because notably we have killed exactly one Valkyrie.
yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did it. I won't do it again if I replay the game, which I probably will at some point because it's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, we did have a hot take redeemed earlier.
Right.
Since we're getting close to that, I suppose it's time to start talking about the
You fellas sure love to make a racket, don't you?
upcoming... oh, I should not walk into here yet. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
I don't know what we'll find when we get to Jotunheim, but we must cover our tracks. Odin's ravens will tell him of the tower's restoration, and we mustn't let our efforts be to his benefit.
Every time I hear Odin's Ravens, I just think of Anchorman now.
Oh, I still have the other stone up. Okay.
Another time.
I thought I had used my I had used my resurrection stone. Well, okay.
By Odin's Ravens.
Uh-huh.
I forget if that's one of the outtakes of like him just trying a bunch of insane things, or
Love it.
if it's the actual one in the movie. I forget what he actually says in the movie, but it's just I always just think of him saying that.
That's a good one. I guess we can upgrade some of these. I don't really know why I would need to. I also don't know why I wouldn't need to.
Oh, one of the trolls is Death Eater, but it's just in English, and he's on a beach somewhere.
Okay.
He's just
Fine.
stunning in the beach.
Fine, I guess. Oh yeah, I should remember to actually use Ratatoskr to do anything. That seems like it would be useful.
What does it do? Someone.
Consumables.
Oh, that's right. It digs up consumables.
Dig up health stones.
It's actually very useful.
Yes. Actually, really, really strong. Anyway, I suppose it's time to talk about, you know, the death of Baldur. Unless if you have any other hot takes ready before we get to that.
No, because that's coming up, and
And soon.
I mean, you know, I think it's a really important one.
Yeah. And so my first hot take relating to that is that they have missed the
This is it. Here we go.
single most important character for the death of Baldur by failing to include Hertha in Baldur's
Hold
death.
on, wait a minute. This
Yeah.
isn't going to work.
What?
There's no travel crystal. Tyr must have used his own eyes to refract the energy.
Oh, that's right. We gotta go to
Final
the serpent's
fail-safe.
belly. Yeah.
You've got eyes like him
Ah.
in here.
I've got an eye. One! Odin plucked out my other eye precisely to keep me from travelling.
Ugh.
Sorry, lads. Thought that would work.
What did Odin do with your other eye?
He'd have kept it. In any of 100 places, I'm afraid.
We've come so far. There has to be a way.
Look, bit of a long shot, but for years I'd see Sindri, sometimes Brock, lurking around in that mountain when Odin came for his visits. Maybe they know something.
Brock and Sindri.
All right, let's talk to them. Wait, I forgot we have one more MacGuffin before we can hit endgame.
Yeah.
The MacGuffin's MacGuffins. All right, folks.
Hey guys, question for you. Anyone know where we can find Mimir's other eye?
Oh,
Poor Sindri.
that's... I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, Odin asked me to... He wanted me to build a... He showed it to me, you see, and I...
All right, Sindri. Sindri, we get the picture.
Sorry, will you excuse me? Oh.
Well, that was useless.
You know, it was about that same time that Odin came around looking for me to build a statue with some sort of hidden compartment. Now, that not being a weapon and the Aesir being a bunch of pock-speckled cockers, I too saw fit to decline. But I know he got it built just the same.
What was the statue?
It's that one of Thor out there flashing his sack to the lake.
The statue of the serpentate.
Sorry about that. Feeling much better.
How are we supposed to look inside the snake?
Ask nicely.
Inside? Oh,
Uh-huh.
We'd better go see what the world serpent has to say about that.
Oh boy.
Well, lads, I don't know what lies ahead, but now would be a good time to make sure your gear is ready for the... Once
Yeah, I
more
don't think
to
this
the
part
horde.
takes that long.
Oh,
So.
wait, yeah, because, right, we kill Baldur before we go to Yonhu. So, right,
Yeah, this leads directly to the fight with Baldur.
exactly. So we are right in
After
the...
you-
We are still right in endgame. So that's fine. That means we can keep going
Yeah.
with the spicy take, because we are still right there. As I said, the spicy take is
Ready.
that the most important secondary figure to Baldur's death is Other. Not Loki.
Is the statue lost to us?
He thinks it might still be in his stomach. And he's open to letting you roll into his mouth to look inside.
Ew. Really?
By the by, he's not wild about it either.
Well, Kratos, you've been inside worse things before. Not by a lot,
True.
but
It's not the
Are
first
you really
giant
doing
stomach
this?
he's explored.
Letting the serpent
Exactly.
swallow us?
You do not have to come.
Well, I'm not gonna miss this.
now I just need to locate the closest boat. Hello, boats.
I think it will be literally anywhere you go.
Yep. I just need to remember where the stairs going down were.
Oh, yeah.
My problems are very basic here.
It's alright. It's alright.
And
Simple
I
problems
made,
are a boon.
I made the wrong turn again.
You did.
I sure did that. Come on, Snick. Let's go. Whee.
You sure this is a good idea?
No.
Absolutely not. We've been inside giant snakes before. It has not gone well for us or the snake.
Lizard
Well,
has
brothers,
another
I've
interesting
been to
theory
many
here.
strange places, but this will be a new one.
Yeah. I've never been in a giant's belly either. How about you, Father?
Once or twice.
Never one that was not trying to eat me.
You really should expect that sort of response at this point.
But yes, Lizard does have an interesting idea. Not an idea I'm sure I agree with, but one that's worth considering.
Here
Do
we
you
go.
have it? I've lost it in the chat scroll.
Yeah, it's just he says I feel like they kind of keep the idea of Hodor in there that a person involved in the death of Baldur who didn't intend to kill him and didn't realize he was wielding something that could kill him. But the actual character of Hodor is gone from that scenario.
And this is where we get into the Justice Denorum, in which Hothorus absolutely 100% intends to kill Baldur.
Yeah, he murders that man.
Also breaks Mjolnir, which is wild.
Yeah,
Admittedly, only the handle, but
still he's a very impressive person in the Gesta Denorum compared to
Funny. I used to dream about getting eaten.
Snoda
are
Edda.
I'm not afraid. It just reminded me of a way I used to feel when I was a child.
thank you.
Let's find that statue.
Let's find that statue. Hello, Snake. Anyway, you were saying? I think they're done talking for a moment.
Me? Oh no, I was just saying he's just Hodor is way more impressive than in the Gesta Denorum than he is in Snoda Edda.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, you know,
smells not as bad as I thought it'd be.
an actual character
Like
with
nether
agency.
ale fermenting.
What?
A
No.
pleasant acting.
No.
You're so weird.
Oh, so you're saying
Is that
Gesta
down there?
Denorum? Is that the? Am I saying it wrong?
The water kind of burns in here. That is water.
No,
Isn't it?
it's stomach acid.
Aye.
Come on. It's known this is stomach acid. I say just the Denorum because of medieval Latin pronunciation
Ah, okay. Okay.
has fricativised by this point. So,
Yeah.
instead of getting that classical hard
There,
G,
the hammer.
The front vowel E softens the G. Okay.
yup.
I see it. I see it.
Now we need a park right here. And it's amazing our boat hasn't disintegrated yet.
Did you want to save the other part of this take that we discussed beforehand for while we're fighting or after we fight Baldur, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Over there!
Deliberate no longer looks like a word.
Heck. Alright, can I actually get up here? Well, that looks more like it's a way down than a way up. Maybe we can send this even farther. Nope. Not like that, I can't. Okay. So, game, do you care to elaborate, like, at all? Because that doesn't do anything, that doesn't do anything. I can't just jump up. Yes I can just break that and then climb up. There we go. Go up there, and then go down here, and then I'm across. Well, I am sort of across. Now we
Mimir,
wait.
Any idea where Odin hid your eye?
No.
Grand
It's not like I
Chicken
can
Lord.
still
So
see through it.
we have 2, possibly 3 attestations of the death of Baldur. We have the Prose Edda. Well, actually, that makes 4, I guess. We have the Prose Edda, we have the Poetic Edda, and we have Saxo Grammaticus's Justa Denorum, written slightly before the Prose Edda, but not by much. And according to Heather O'Donoghue, we have Beowulf. And the Prose and Poetic Eddas
Yep,
pretty much agree.
that's an eye.
In fact, the
Maybe you
Poetic
should
Edda...
stick that in my head for safekeeping. Gently now, gently.
The Poetic Edda absolutely
Thank you, brother.
is actually
You
quoted
don't
in the
miss
Prose
depth
Edda.
until it's gone.
I missaid those words. Völuspá, in the Poetic Edda, is quoted in the Prose Edda. So, there's that. And
Oh my god, Balder gets like 2.5 pages in CMEC.
there's so much about him. And then
How's it feel, Mimir?
they
Well,
both
I wouldn't
agree
say I'm
that
feeling whole
Loki
again, but
kills
it's a right
Balder.
improvement.
The Bifrost is intact.
It'll serve.
Then we have all we need.
Finally, we're going to Jotunheim.
Don't
There's
say
no
that.
stopping us now.
Then, let's
Laddie,
see.
have you ever heard the term tempting fate?
Lokasena says Loki kills Balder. Baldur's Dreamer is inconclusive, just that Balder will die. Vafthrudismal is even more inconclusive as to how Balder died, just that he did. The Justa Denorum says Hother kills Balder.
So how do we get back out?
We signaled them.
And then,
What's going on?
uh,
Well, that was mildly terrifying. Maybe our presence is upsetting Jormungandr's belly.
No. Something is wrong.
and last up, if Heather O'Donoghue is correct, Beowulf says that Hother kills Balder.
What's happening to him?
Nothing good.
Someone is punching that snake very
Glad
hard.
that's over.
Is he getting hit? What is that?
We must hurry.
Couldn't agree more, brother.
So, his mouth is plenty big, mind you. Unlike most things, wherein
Hold tight and watch your balance.
The boat shifting! I'm
I
gonna...
have you.
Wolfie, you're not going to find it because the names have changed. What it's thought is, according to Heather Donahue, is that it is Hivekin. So Beowulf's uncles, Hivekin and Heribald. Heribald is
Boy.
killed by Hivekin in
Boy,
a
I'm good. I think I'm getting kind of used to this. What happened to him? Something we did?
in let's see.
something else.
In a hunting accident, that's what it is. Sorry. Forgot my words for a
The
moment.
giant. Why would the serpent leave us here?
Look!
A hawk? Okay, yeah, that checks out.
Freya. We can still trust her. Right?
Until we know for certain, keep a distance.
The world's serpent. What's happened here?
We hoped you would know.
You are far from home.
I'm looking for my son. The two of you. You helped me see things more clearly.
You do not know where he is then?
No. But the woods and fields speak his name. I know he walks here in Midgard.
Mm-hmm. He's like right here.
When did you see him last?
Apologies
Long
for the
ago.
like chat. It's
Before you were
loading the
even
fight.
born. Why are you standing so far from me? What's wrong? Something's happened.
Yes.
There!
Something has happened.
Just comes out of the water.
Just slow walks.
I had a feeling that hurting the big snake would bring the two of you out in the open. Do you have any idea at all, what you have cost me?
No.
Nope. Do enlighten us.
My boy.
My boy.
Boy.
Mother.
I'm here. Don't run away.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere, Mother.
I know that you're still angry. I know that how you feel hasn't changed, but I want you...
How I feel? How I feel?
Yep.
Wrong choice of words.
Not the best choice of words. Also, yeah.
I've spent the last
He's-
100 years dreaming of this moment.
What?
I rehearsed everything I
Only
ever
100
wanted
years?
to say to you, every word, to make you understand exactly what you stole from me.
It's a strange time scale.
But now,
That's like a pathetically tiny
I
timescale.
realize I don't need you to understand.
That's
anything.
a tiny timescale.
I don't need
What is
you
with fantasy games
at
thinking
all.
100 years is a long time?
Kratos, this has nothing to do...
This path you walk. Vengeance. You will find no peace. I know.
You. I'll deal with you later. But family first.
Freya, I would back up.
This again.
This again.
Again.
You
You have to go. Please.
No! I can reach him! You have to stop fighting!
Yeah, I have terrible news for you. That's not gonna happen, Freya.
I hate
I don't need your help! I can protect myself!
Freya.
me, you selfish witch.
Listen to me, both of you! I won't hurt you, but you must stop this!
Ah, I thought I blocked that.
No! Do you two care about me? Get out of my way!
Alright, that.
Then stop!
You might want to turn away, boy. This won't be pretty.
I won't let you hurt him.
No, boy.
Fine.
Stop! No! No! Atreus! You're bleeding. Breathe, boy. Breathe!
Yeah, that's shattered ribs. That's a lot of shattered ribs.
Not my blood.
Hey, look at that.
What is that?
Hey, would you look at that? Completely on accident.
can
Grand Chicken
feel
Lord, so
this.
what happened, is that Freya is Baldur's mother, according to this game.
I can feel everything.
But,
Yeah, in this game they've collapsed Freya and Frigg into one character,
Yep.
so
and
she's his mother, and she's the one who made him invulnerable.
unfortunately, she took away his ability to feel literally anything except anger.
Yeah, it's an interesting twist on his invulnerability that makes him totally numb to all sensations.
Yeah.
So he's basically not been alive.
Excuse me?
You will not do this!
What's going on? Is Freya trying to kill us?
No. Do you hear the wind? We are moving.
That arrow. Baldur punched the mistletoe?
In the quiver strap, yes.
Yeah.
Mistletoe harmed him.
Freya said it was wicked.
He's more than harmed. The spell is broken.
Yep.
He can be killed.
I'm certain of it. It's all coming back now.
Yep. Mistletoe?
Now you're
How are they explaining this one? Come on, give us lore. No,
I don't think they do.
they're just gonna let that vibe. Fine.
They just yeah, it's
Fine.
just the answer to the, it's the one thing.
Stay out of it. I can reason with him.
Sort of, I guess, referencing just the actual myth implicitly here and not explaining it.
Stop me! No one can!
Where is he?
I don't care if he kills me. I will protect him. I will not let him die.
How touching. This will all be over soon.
Say what?
You will stop this now.
No.
Oh, it's wonderful. I feel.
Well, is it she's still kind of being a smothering, you know, helicopter parent even when she's not there, because she told Balder that there was no way to reverse the spell, but she knew that mistletoe, she could have just pricked him with a little bit of mistletoe at any point.
Exactly.
It's just because she's afraid. She can't deal with the, even the idea of him dying.
I'm coming for you.
Which, fair enough, nobody ever wants to lose a son, of course, but look at him now.
Yeah. You can tell he's doing, well.
Yeah.
Okay, I blocked that. I disagree. That's alright.
I love it.
Just let me just spin to him real quick. No. You don't get this. Aha. Okay, big fights. Infinity Gauntlet. And we're good. We're still good. That's a Blade of Chaos into his side. Okay, that should have been a lethal wound, but that's okay. Come on.
Boy, the crystal.
Ow.
Ouch.
Atreus. Atreus.
I'm up here. I'm okay.
Okay, but be careful.
And I'm doing wonderful. I have never felt so alive.
You are on fire, sir.
Stop this.
Yeah, I know.
Sir, you are on fire.
More, show me more.
Still ow. I'm getting juggled quite unpleasantly.
I never knew I was fun this.
Quite unpleasantly.
Incredible.
Where are you? Where did you go? There you are. Alright. Big fight. Let's go. So, how does Boulder, actually TM die? Turns out the answer is not like this.
Yeah.
Because the different versions do have some disagreements. In that, there is when... Ow. Let's see. In the Jesta, when Hotherus kills him, it's via a magic potion that takes away his invulnerability that he was supposed to be given. That was he just like he persuades the people brewing it to give it to him instead.
Have to do this.
In the Prose and Poetic Eddas, it is by yeeting a spear of mistletoe at him. And more
Yeah,
of
in
this
the
fight.
Eddas, it's not that it breaks the spell, it's just the one thing he's vulnerable to,
Yeah.
and Loki turns the sprig of mistletoe into like an actual spear,
Yep.
presumably with just like Loki magic powers.
Also
So it
potentially just like, sharpening it.
Or just sharp.
It does have a woody stem after all.
That's true, yeah. And so he's just standing there, letting everybody throw things at him, presumably unarmored, and then suddenly something just kills him.
Exactly. Nice trick shot. Because yeah, he had a game wherein he would also yeet it at people. He would have people yeet things at him repeatedly. And everyone would laugh at it. I like that we're actually playing as Atreus in this bit.
Yeah.
Before you die, I want to thank you. Both of you. You've done what even the All-Father himself...
Okay, but we are not close to done yet.
I've never felt more alive. Ironic, isn't it?
Not even close.
What?
Not even close.
Why won't you die?
Oh, more Blaze of Chaos time. Oh no, I think we're just bare fist time, honestly. Blaze of Chaos, let's go. Or just, I should say, Spartan Rage, let's go.
Yep.
Though we don't have a lot of that left, and he seems to be going for the Leviathan axe now.
Think you can beat me now?
Ah, and now Blaze of Chaos time. And now,
Leviathan X.
exactly. You
Oh
understand.
my god.
Just keep swapping to whichever one he's weak to.
Yeah, exactly. Why he suddenly gains elemental powers? I don't know.
Because we stabbed him and he absorbed them for reasons.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ow.
It's also weird that they're like, Baldur is Odin's best tracker. I don't know where that came
I have literally no clue where that comes from.
All of you!
Like, he's not even affiliated with hunting. There are figures that are. His name's Ulla. Like, Uller is just... Get over here. Ow.
You think you can stop me?
Ah, heck. That was... Okay, luckily that was at least plot. No. Yes. That was plot. Okay. And good old-fashioned God of War QuickTime events at the end of it all, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, pretty big fan of that.
Yeah, it's always cool.
Right, because big time events are suck, and they were very much part of God of War's mid 2000s design.
Yep.
But it works here. It works here.
I have an idea! Boom!
Boy,
Snack.
well done, boy.
Snack. Good landing. Now.
Come on! Do it! Do it!
Stop. Please.
He's beaten Father. Not a threat.
Indeed.
You will not come for us again. You will not touch her.
I don't need your protection.
Yeah, well. I think it's...
Mimir just has to awkwardly look at Baldur for
Exactly.
that moment.
Yep. Yep.
Just can't help yourself. Can you, Mother? No matter what I do or say, you won't stop interfering in my life.
I
Okay.
was just trying to protect
Yep.
you.
That's...
I've made mistakes. I know. But you're free now.
Mm-hmm.
You have what you want. Try to find forgiveness. We can build something new.
No. We can't. Because I will never forgive.
Uh-huh. That's... How well is it gonna go for you, my boy?
You still need to pay.
Could...
The lifetime that you stole
Could
from
it?
me.
I have paid.
But you have like the rest of your lifetime.
Duh.
I have
the
paid.
The runes just say cursed on him. Duh. One of the
Oh,
only
they do?
cases of proper of just good old-fashioned
That alone.
Futhark alphabet
Will make you whole.
is
Oh, I
the
wasn't
red,
paying attention.
the red tattoos across his shoulders spell cursed.
Will make things right.
Oh. Nice.
I won't stop you.
I know.
I think somebody pointed out somewhere online when I was doing research that Freya's tattoos become more opaque the more Sather she uses in the game.
Oh, that's neat. But yeah,
Like
look,
they start out where they're faded.
DESR.
I love you.
Oh, and they're the right direction, you mean? Oh, okay, nice.
You could have walked away.
The Sigolians here must be better than this.
Oof. How's that gonna go for you, Kratos?
Except now he's starting a new cycle.
Starts a new cycle. Except not, because Ragnarok is a one-time event, I promise.
No, my boy. My dear sweet boy.
Oh
My
yeah,
dear
she
sweet
absolutely
boy.
has way more tattoos now. Her
Yeah.
fingers were not silver.
No.
He chose this.
I will rain down every agony, every violation imaginable upon you. I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
He saved your life.
He robbed me of everything.
This is gonna be a crazy boss fight of the next game.
Yeah.
We're going.
You were just an animal.
Yes.
Passing on your cruelty and rage, you will never change.
And you do not know me.
I know enough. Does he?
Boy. Listen close.
Good.
I'm from a land called Sparta. I made a deal with a god that cost me my soul. I killed many who were deserving. And many who were not.
The motif.
Yes, it's so good. The musical language of this game is so good.
I killed
Yeah.
my father.
That was your father in hell. Is this what it is to be a god? Is this how it always ends? Sons killing their mothers? Their fathers?
No. We will be the gods we choose to be. Not those who have been. Who I was is not who you'll be. We must be better.
Well, guess we're the bad guys now.
In her eyes, yes. But she could never make that choice. We should finish this journey while I still have strength.
Kratos, the strength is like the one thing you have going for you. If you run out of that, where are we gonna be?
Yeah.
I understand that fight was rough.
I know saving her was the right thing. But she seemed all evil at the end.
Not evil. You killed her son, lad. Her son. The death of a child is not something a parent gets over easily.
But he was gonna kill her.
Yeah. Ah, that's not even the, like, helpful one. Okay.
She would have died to see him live. Only
Well.
a parent can understand.
So you'd let me kill you?
If it meant you would live. Yes.
Look, there was no easy choice. For anybody, brother. But I think we can all agree you did the right thing. The world's a better place with Freya in it. Just give her time, lads. She'll come around.
Yeah,
Back
I don't
to Tyr's temple then.
I don't know about
think
that.
she'll come around.
Last
maybe
time.
not. I've got bad news
Yeah.
for you.
Jotunheim awaits.
Yeah, I was waiting for the end of the
Why
sequence,
bother
obviously,
saving
but
Cost?
Odin must have convinced him that following you to Jotunheim would bring his cure. Lies, I'm sure.
Why did mistletoe break the spell?
Vanir
question.
magic is powerful, but its rules are slippery and elusive. I'm sure it makes sense if you're a witch. Oh, but it's also bloody tragic. Balder was the greatest gift Odin granted Freya. The one thing she treasured from their marriage. She only hoped to spare him pain and spare herself loss. But such impulses can lead good parents to make terribly stupid decisions.
Yep. Well,
true.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, I could totally see in the next game that not only, I mean, Freya will definitely attack us. That was in the Ragnarok trailer.
How'd you come to be in these lands?
Oh my God.
Stop talking. Okay, talk.
Okay.
Man,
That
please.
not only will she attack us, but she'll go full the enemy of my enemy is my ally with Odin and get her Valkyrie rings back and come for us full force.
Oh, it would be that would be such a good fight. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming around. I'm pretty sure she has signed a death warrant here by virtue of being not the protagonist in a God of War game.
Yeah, right.
But why does Kratos think this won't further the cycle of violence? It's not the cycle of violence he's worried about. It's specifically the cycle of parents killing, or of children killing parents. And this is
Yeah.
the point where I don't think Kratos is in the right here, but rather that the fact that he is a deeply traumatized entity is coming back to bite him.
Yeah.
Because, right, his entire cycle is sons killing fathers, right? Cronus killing Ouranos, Zeus killing Cronus, Kratos killing Zeus. So he has seen this repeat generationally, and so he sees this replicating in the Norse pantheon here, and goes, kind of just goes, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
But then,
And
you know, murder is
there's
the
not
only
evidence
way
that he's
he...
actually right, though there's
Yeah.
also not evidence that he's... Actually, there is evidence that he's wrong, because Odin didn't kill his parents, he just killed a lot of other random people.
Well, actually, in
Does it say somewhere that Odin killed Bor?
no, but I don't think it talks exactly about those the parentage in that sense, but the way that
Comes
they
a
have
time in
turned
every
the
man's
Ymir
life.
myth in this
Exactly.
is sort of making it like Odin killing his creator / parent.
Yeah, but...
But it's not explicit.
Since they've also acknowledged that Bor Odin is a thing.
They did, okay, yeah, that's right.
Right. They acknowledge that they exist, and so... It's definitely a related cycle, it's just not obvious that that's actually what's going on. It's not obvious whether Kratos is right here, basically.
Yeah.
When he changes his name and heads north to make a new start.
I don't think that's true,
If you
Mimi.
live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. By the time I arrived, I already knew Odin by his reputation, and so I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value. A mystic
Oh,
well
this story.
of knowledge.
Yes.
Or rather, I should say, a well of water laced with enough mystic mushrooms to make a god
Well,
see visions.
that's fair. Valid,
Yeah.
honestly.
Was rightly impressed. Can't say for sure what he saw that led him to try gouging out his own eyes, but I managed to restrain him before he finished the job. Then I persuaded him it has been his sacrifice made for an even higher form of sight to be bestowed. Blah de blah de blah de blah. I used to think he never caught on, but the day he took my eye, I realized he had never been fooled. He knew I'd outwitted him, called the lesson wisdom, and hired me to make sure from then on I was on his side. And for a long, long time I truly was. Doesn't mean he didn't hold a grudge.
Neat. Thank you, Mimi. I mean, that is a very, very on-brand Puck thing to be doing.
Yeah.
So, meh. Now let's go to Jotunheim. And get, you know, the last big reveal.
What's got you all bum-fuzzled over there? Get...
Here we go.
One
I can't believe we're gonna see the giants.
Well, if things work according to plan, go ahead and lock in Jotunheim and we'll be on our way.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, we finished the character development. We've got to be close to the end game.
Yeah.
There's a limit to how much Vanaheim, Jotunheim. Right. Let's go. No, we are not going to translate all of the
Roy.
routes.
Ahead. Get ready.
Oh, right. Got him. Let's hope this doesn't cause you to explode or anything.
Helpful.
Oh, hadn't considered that. Maybe we should
Helpful.
talk about this a bit more.
Nah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Ready?
Oh, that's unpleasant!
Yeah.
Now, boy.
My eye beams. Aristotle would be proud.
Yeah.
I mean, Grand Chicken Lord, he used to have
We
a
must be
body. We
close.
may have decapitated him a
What are
bit.
we waiting for? Think it's far?
We will see.
No sense in rushing it.
A word, please, before we continue.
Uh-huh.
Listen, the last thing you two need up there's a decomposing heat ruining the moment. Why don't I wait for you here? This is between you and the boy.
True. But if someone were to
My
fight...
lady sips soft, perfect sloshers.
Hey.
You done did it.
We had to see this.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Ah, fine, damn it. Fine.
Watch the head till we return.
Ow.
I can do this. No, no, I can't. Oh.
Okay.
Ready.
Let's go.
Come.
Velith, we're just going to assume they're going to ignore the part where Odin hangs himself to a tree after stabbing himself. We're going to assume they're just not going to talk about that and then be very confused when they, what nonsense they do try to pull when they explain that one away. So many stairs. So many sparklies. Oh, Lizard, I was talking mortal accuracy too. Okay, let's take a look at this place. They all say hey.
Look! We're on the giant's fingers. I can see the highest peak ahead. Right over there. We did it.
We maybe did it.
We did.
Nah. Hey, they actually show him taking off his gauntlets. That's
What
cool.
are you doing?
I have nothing more to hide.
It'll be really interesting to see next game. Given that the whole point of this game was getting Kratos to be at peace with himself.
Yeah.
Right, that is one of the main points.
Can we go now?
Uh-huh.
We're so close.
Now that he's like
Boy,
next game with his character arc kind of done. Just how scary is he going to be?
You mean now that he's like the fully realized Kratos?
Exactly. He is fully realized dad.
Fully realized dad of boy is no longer self versus all, but is now
Two
relationally.
versus also all.
Yes, two versus also all, but now has relational self and semi-resuscitated masculinity.
Exactly.
boy.
The anime power
It's
up.
nothing. I
Yeah.
just thought I'd hear voices by now.
Yeah, about that. We have terrible news for you, Atreus. You're gonna have to wait till the next game.
Hello? Anybody here?
Also, how very, not Norse of these outfits.
What is this place?
They must have all come through
Yeah.
when they left Midgard.
How-
What was left of them?
Aggressively not Norse are these people wearing, linen skirts.
Yes.
That can be
Why
a
carve all these faces?
What if this is all the giants that got out of Midgard alive? Not really many at all.
oh, that, It's like Levantine and maybe Greek, but not Norse at all.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. That's a weird thing I wasn't expecting. Okay, that's too many
Odin
roots.
and Thor, ruining everything for everybody.
We are not going to read those roots. Actually, even if we wanted to read those runes, we couldn't. Most of those
Yeah,
are not
these are
real.
not.
Most of those,
No.
not all of them are not real, but most of them are not real. Don't. Why is it's just the Elder Futhark alphabet? It's just the three Eicht of
Oh, yeah,
the three
yeah.
Eicht here of the Futhark alphabet. Midgardr was a dream of what could be if we shared and collaborated. Yet not Aesir, Vanir, Elf, Dwarf, and mortals most of all. It was beautiful, but not everyone is capable of sharing. Some believe anything uncontrolled is savage and threatened, so we were marked and tricked and used and then slaughtered. Odin and his tribe were barred from our realm, but it was not enough. The wrath of Thor and his terrible hammer have thinned our number in Midgard to the brink of ruin. There is no option but to withdraw while yet any live to do so.
Genocide.
Hooray! Far more runes.
Who's the guardian?
You just read all of that in like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Excuse?
I just
You can't
absorbed
even
it.
see those ones up there.
No. He has his own camera mode.
Uh-huh. We foresee Midgard's fate overrun a second hell. Neither Odin nor his dead may reach Jotunheim. The ways must be shut. The serpent and the guardian remained. Tyr. They alone shall keep our hope. When doom befalls the indestructible, only then shall the guardian return. Until then, we await a better world, without fear, without greed, without war. We wait for deliverance and justice. We wait for a champion. We wait for the word that gods grow good. Wait. Also, what was that? Hang on. Codex. Come on. Where did it go? Good gods? No. That's also still just... Okay. I was hoping that there would be something different.
I should feel them, but I don't. This place is dead. What happened to them? Why'd Mom send us here?
One question is answered, and two more take its place.
Mm-hmm. But...
Wait! Father! Something's happening.
So many runes. This one's actually super helpful, because here's the big reveal. We've got a lot of reading to do here real quick.
Yeah.
We got a lot of reading to do.
It's your axe. It's smaller. Look. She's arguing with a bunch of giants.
The runes above her head, by the way, read
New
Loife.
giants? That's us.
And the runes above their
first time we
other
met the
heads
world serpent. But how?
read Loki and
And our fight with
Falroyd.
Baldur. But that just happened. Wait. They knew everything that was going to happen. The dragon in the mountain,
Baldur,
the stone
Falroyd.
mason, all these drawings. This is our story.
No. This is your story.
But what does it all mean?
That I was not the only parent with secrets.
You didn't know. She was a giant.
Dun dun dun.
Da da da.
I'm a giant. Why didn't she tell us?
He
She
died.
sent us here, knowing we would find this.
Caver.
But
Ver.
why not just tell
No.
us the truth?
Ver.
Your mother would have had good
Verandi.
reasons.
Vervandi
Baldur was
Loxens.
never sent to find me. He was tracking her all along, not knowing she was only
Loxens
ashes.
after till Jotunheim.
If she had a plan for
Till
us,
Jotunheims.
I trust it. Whatever it is. Besides, she hasn't been wrong yet. Come on. We're so close to the end now.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, we are.
save it. Hang on. We need to take a look at that, because... No. Turn around. Kratos. Kratos. Turn around. Ah. It's just straight up not going to let us see it.
No. I don't want you reading that shit. Spoilers.
But...
You can read the top part.
Okay. Blood. Blood, vedra. Blood, guða. Trunaður. What? TNG?
What? It's...
Tundendin.
No, this is... We must be doing something wrong.
Probably Tonden.
I guess, yeah.
Use that as an O.
Yeah, they just used the wrong...
Erendi fundið.
Fundith, yeah. Yeah!
Yeah.
Fedra.
With blood of
Father's
what?
blood?
Wait, is that
Vedra.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
wait, no, that is Fedra. So you're right.
But-
Five here? Five? But no, that should be Fodra. That should be
Yeah,
Fodra.
it should be Fedra.
Zoega, help us.
Zoega!
Zoega, please save us from this tragedy.
We must do the ritual to summon the spirit of Zoega.
Exactly.
Oh, I can go to his grave here in Reykjavik and summon him up like a Valva.
So, feather. I think it's not the. It might be. It might be father. Molith, what do you have? That feature is still in progress. Thank you. Yeah. It is a rare plural. It looks like it's a rare plural of father.
God, wait, okay, weird, but okay.
Blood of fathers, blood of gods.
Blood of gods.
Because there is a term, like a single attestation of a compound featherabani. And in context, it's featherabana or braithra. So, that's clearly referring to father.
Yeah.
So, yeah, blood of fathers, blood of gods, Trunaður. The problem is, right, with that being, that other one being quite scuffed, there isn't a lot to say. Right, without being able to better guess what that third word is, I'm not sure we're going to, or that, I guess, that one that is clearly misspelled.
Yeah, what is it again? It's probably Tundin?
I think it's...
Tundith?
I think it's
Tundith?
Tundid.
Let me see if there's anything.
Or Tonden. Hard to say. There's hell. We've been through that, Thaumer, right there. Oh, okay, they're using... I wonder if they're doing E as... You think? I don't know. The Orlog, there's Fate. Fate, Vargur with, Vargur. A wolf among wolves? Okay. They're wolves. It's...
I don't see anything for like Tundith.
Okay. Yeah.
Tundicht.
Tundin. Two ends.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way.
Either way, I don't think it actually helps. Right. Because I could look the other way, I guess. Tunde. Yeah. Tunde. I'm getting nothing in the Dictionary of Old Norse Prose either. Yeah. Oh well. So be it. Looking way out here, it is looking like a wolf among wolves has Atreus passing on, and presumably from there comes Fenris over. Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. Okay. Well, there's Hugin and Munin. I look forward to killing them. And Mimir up there in the red. Interesting. Anyway.
Yes, Evan. They call him. He is named Faurboiti among the Jötnar.
Correct.
Which is because he's the husband of Loife, but also yes, like you point out, it does match his personality.
Exactly. This is a case where they are annoyingly clever.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I liked it.
Look.
No.
It's Mother's. She was here. She saw every step we took before we took it. Like she was always with us. Watching over us.
She's literally on your hip right now.
Let's finish it.
But right, Faurboiti is a figure we know literally nothing about. We know that his name means Furious Striker, and that's about it.
That's it, yeah.
That's the sum total of what we know. But it matches Kratos' personality quite nicely, and so ends up being a really nice hole in the sort of list of names in order to incorporate him in.
Yeah, he plugs right in.
Right, it is irritatingly clever because it works so well. And since there's such a clean match, then we can get the natural response is if Faurboiti is Kratos, then, well, who's Faurboiti's son? Loki.
Yeah.
Father?
No. We do it together.
Now the worst part. The big Jötnar. Why?
Why is that?
Why?
Because I think it's entirely because they wanted that set piece at the end.
Yeah, it just looks cool.
And
people
they
still
just
expect
had to
it.
deal with it.
Yeah, and it's just like I said in my article, I was like, I think it's literally just like the popular conception just winning out, even though they tried to subvert it earlier.
Yeah.
And draw attention to the fact that there's nothing that ever says Jötnar are explicitly giant.
Yep. And by the way, there was a question of what do we think of Jackson Crawford using anti-god instead of giant? I actually don't like that take either.
That's even stupider. What the hell?
That's even worse, right?
Anti-god. What?
Because while the Jötnar are usually in opposition to the gods, there's loads of cases where they aren't.
Yeah, that also commits the same error that most scholarship on the Jötnar.
Hello, yes,
to
the field
date.
of all the giant Jötnar. Yeah, I think this one is 100% just pop conceptions.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Calling them anti-gods also just commits the same error that most scholarship on the Jötnar does, that just keeps them only in relation to the gods.
They're all gone.
Yeah. Yep.
There's nothing for us here.
Come.
So, I get that Mother was a giant. Which makes me part giant and part god.
Yep.
And part mortal.
Right. I guess there's just one thing I don't understand. my name on the wall. The giants called me... Loki?
Ominous note.
Loki.
Yeah.
That's the name your mother wanted for you when you were born.
Yeah, I love that
She must have
ominous
called you
minor
that to
high
the
note.
people.
Yeah, this musical tension.
But why?
Because everyone knows what's coming.
A question for another day. Let us go home.
Complete.
Guess it all makes sense now. Why she want to end up here? Be with her kind? But did she know it was going to be like this here? Is this what she wanted us to see? Did she want us to tell the people? Or keep it a secret?
I do not know.
So what should we do?
I trust you to decide that.
This is a bad plan.
Yeah, right.
This is such a terrible decision. Hold up. Kratos, like, good character arc. He's like 12. Are you sure you want to do that?
I do really like, random side note, I do really like Jotunheim's, like, design, though.
Oh yeah, Jotunheim's design is great. I don't really know what they're going for with, like... I mean, it's like Art Deco again, but it's a third type of Art Deco. With all the statuary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, it is.
Right?
So, why'd you
Not
wanna
the,
name
not
me
the, I just meant the
Atreus?
landscape, but
I know
yes.
it can't be for a god.
But right in there...
No. He was a soldier. A Spartan.
A great warrior?
All Spartans are great warriors. We trained from birth. Our lives were discipline, duty, battle, and death. Life was grim, and we greeted it grimly. But Atreus of Sparta was unlike the rest of us. He wore a smile even in the worst of times. He was happy. He inspired us to hope that though we were machines of war, yet there was humanity in us. Goodness. When the day came for him to lay down his life in battle, his sacrifice saved countless others and turned the tide in our favor. I carried him home on his shield and buried him with all the honors of Spartan custom. His memory was a comfort in dark times.
Wow, you actually told a good story.
That was actually a good story.
We missed it.
The music was even sick.
I know, right? No. I'm sure there's... Oh, we're still walking. I thought when we walked into the light, things would change. I suppose we have to keep
Nope.
walking. Down the mountain!
I understand if you want to go home, but I bet there are still some corrupted Valkyries out there that could be set free. Some other help people need. Maybe helping people was part of why Mom sent us out here, too. I mean, what would Atreus of Sparta do?
And what would Loki do?
Huh. That's a weird name. I'm glad we went with yours.
Well, how badly do things go?
Just lying on the fucking
Lads,
floor.
am I glad to see you. I believe I've reached my limit for dwarven charm.
What happened, Mimir?
They took an uncomfortable number of measurements and then proceeded to bicker about the weather.
Where do you want us to take you?
How about the warm confines of anywhere bloody else?
Alright. Alright. Continue exploring. Thank you. Thank you. I want to see the credits though. Honestly. Let me see the end of the game. I am aware there is more to do. We are not going to do it. I assume we go back to Midgard?
Yeah, I mean, that's You
That's-
don't have to. But
That's the
yeah.
only thing to do right now.
Before
Actually.
we return to Midgard, I should warn you.
Uh-huh.
More time has passed than you likely realize. The snowfall that began when you slew Baldur, it's become something else.
There we
Stuff
go.
of omens.
Omens for the coming of winter.
Not just any winter, but a great winter to span 3
Uh-huh.
summers. And when it's done, Ragnarok begins.
Ragnarok. From snow.
Aye, snow. Lots more snow. And then the end of the bloody world. In that approximate order.
Another prophecy.
No, brother. Prophecy doesn't expect this for 100 more winters at least. You've changed
Again,
something.
100
Prophecy
years.
didn't count on you.
Really weirdly short amount of time.
Yeah.
Why do games do this? They think like 100 years is a long time, but it's not at all.
I'm telling you, it's Fimbulwinter. I can
Thank-
feel it
thank
in
you,
my
Brock.
throat.
Thank
This
you.
is the big one.
Stop saying that. Oh, you're making me very nervous. It was bound to snow sooner or later.
That ain't just snow, and you know it. It's the end times.
How dare you make me the voice of reason?
Guys,
Just discussing the weather.
Uh-huh.
Bit of a cold snap lately.
What he means is, Fimbulwinter's upon us, boys. The winter to end all winters. I can feel it in my screw.
yeah,
You heard.
we heard.
So if you're heading home, try to keep moving, and also to not die.
Or
Helpful.
if you're not heading home, same advice.
Helpful. Interesting. So, well, you've heard that Ragnarok and the entire cycle of Norse being is meant to be a cycle that happens over and over again. Anything to that? No.
Nope.
Not even a little bit. It is a one and done deal, and it's just the world survives the end of the world and then keeps bumbling along for a while. But no, there is nothing to indicate that it is meant to be cyclical.
And that rebirth thing is probably also like heavily inspired by Christian
You two
myth
going
and
in
symbolism.
or what?
Yeah, I mean, enough sources do say that there is an after Ragnarok that I think it is solidly part of pre-Christianity.
Yeah, I mean, at least the rebirth part, but the Baldur coming back is very Christ-like.
But doesn't Vafthrudnismal say that as well?
Let
That
me
Baldur,
check.
Huther, Vidar, Vali, and... Wait, is Vafthrudnismal the one that says that instead of Vidar and Vali, it's Vili and Via? There's one source that says it's Vili and Via instead of Vidar and Vali, and it's very weird. But,
Atreus, to me.
Okay, I'm coming.
actually, what is the best way home? Home. Because I want to see the credits. Give me credits. There's not that. There's Thalmud, Vedargard Mountain. Where is it? I need to use the door? Okay. Well then we'll go inside and we'll do that. It's snowing beautifully.
Vafthrudnismal gives Vidar and Valley will live in the god sanctuaries when Surt's fire is slaked. Modi and Magni shall have Mjolnir and demonstrate battle strength.
Get going.
Okay.
And then blah blah.
I thought I mentioned Baldur as well.
Not in this last section, at least.
Okay.
Because then it just goes to Vidar will avenge this. The wolf will swallow the father man. Vidar will avenge this. The cold jaws of the wolf he will sunder in battle. And then it's Odin's trump card about what did Odin say to his son's ear before he mounted the pyre.
Okay. Sure. Fair enough. And Solaria, the question of,
Deteriorate the Unity Stone.
like a power that descends from the sky,
That's a terrible pity.
exists in a corrupted stanza.
That refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge.
Oh,
The time he
they
spent
just-
9 days a dead man. Hung himself by the neck from
They do
Yggdrasil's
acknowledge it.
branches, put his spear through his own side, and bled down into the Well of Destiny. He roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the world tree of its secrets, until I think quite rightly it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living. Did I not mention he was barking mad?
They actually acknowledged it. But yes, the stanza that in Volaspell that mentions the great power that descends from the sky out of nothing is a 2-line stanza, which is 2 lines too short. And yet it's not that it's just our manuscripts are damaged. There's no gap in the manuscripts where they might have been. So it is just straight up, the stanza is corrupt, and so we don't really know what's going on.
Bit drafty, maybe, but it's a right improvement over having tree bark in your Tadger.
Uh-huh. Well, let us be home.
I was looking up Vathutnis. What was the myth Mimir was quoting? Was it
Halfmal hanging from the
The-
tree.
Time to
Yeah,
rest.
okay, yeah.
I'm gonna sleep through winter.
Sleep through winter.
I've got bad news for you, Atreus.
Okay, this'll do.
Sleep.
Way ahead of you.
Uh-huh. Good night. And nothing bad happened, the end.
Years later.
What was that?
Your ball!
Well, well, well. Look who it is. that there is, another problem with that of accepting Beowulf, because the piece missing in the reading of Beowulf as being just laden with Norse myth references is answering why the fuck would it do that? And I don't have a good answer for that. Because if it is a learned in addition, someone is intentionally, aware of these myths and sticking them in, that means two things have to be true. One, the poet themselves has to be really familiar with Norse poetic traditions, despite writing in West Saxon, or composing in West Saxon Old English. Two, the person they are creating the poem for must be interested. There's not a lot of points in pre-context English history where that is actually, those two conditions can guaranteed be met. And unfortunately, the problem is we know so little about the composition of Beowulf that is really hard to say. Look, see, could it be an Old English tradition? Yes, but that's not what Heather O'Donoghue argues. Right? Heather O'Donoghue argues that it is a learned innovation in the poem and not a product of a widespread Old English poetic tradition. Now, that being said, there are evidence that the Old English poetic tradition is fairly widespread and that it does include plenty of cognates. Wayland, Sigismund. The poems Deor and Weedseath have a couple of other references. Beowulf being related to the saga of Hrolf Kraki or to Skjoldunga saga. So, there is plenty of evidence for that there is a widespread oral poetic tradition that is shared across the Germanic corpus, but we know so little about it. Look, if you want to do Old English, you make your career off of arguing when Beowulf dates to.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, see, Grand Chicken Lord, that's J.R.R. Tolkien's interpretation of Beowulf that was composed the generation post-conversion. And so the person composing it was aware of this heroic corpus and was aware that it was ending. There has been literally every year between 750 and 1010 proposed as when Beowulf was composed. Usually people will argue like a 25 to 50 year chunk, so it's cheating a little bit, but literally every year. The main camps are late 10th or early 11th century, the reign of Alfred the Great, because everything is the reign of Alfred the Great, or circa 750. And the other half of that, the other question, so Loki is a literary invention? No. Loki is a religious figure in the Viking Age, in my estimation. It is just that he is a 10th century addition to the body of religious figures. I think he is a late addition to the body of religious figures, not that he is a perfectly learned invention.
Right.
That I think he rises to prominence after the introduction of Christianity to Scandinavia in the 8th or 9th century, and therefore ends up kind of potentially coming into formation as a proxy for having an antagonist figure. He's not worshipped. Religious is not the same as worshipped, right? It's never that easy.
He's part of the system. He gets introduced into the system of...
Exactly.
Probably a region or two's mythology, and probably the regions that went on to then write about him post-Christianization. Mm-hmm. Or at least the regions that requested or commissioned writings about him.
Exactly. I think probably Oslofjord is a pretty good choice, because pretty good guess, because the Hearthstone, Aarhus.
What?
There's a Hearthstone in Aarhus.
Yes, with the stitched mouth.
With the stitched mouth. I can't remember its name.
Yeah.
I was tapping my forehead trying to go, what is its name? Something Tuna Stone. Snapton. It's the Snapton stone. Probably was created in Norway, somewhere around Oslofjord. So I think if you had to like throw a dart at a wall
Yeah.
and guess, southern Norway is a pretty good choice. Cause, right, while that Hearthstone was found in Aarhus and was made around the year 1000, it wasn't made in Aarhus.
No.
So, there we go. If my pin sword to my throat, I have to pick a day, pick a region and rough date for when Loki came into existence. 10th century, southeastern Norway. And if that is not a spicy take to be ending on, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Icelanders came from all over the place, this dude. The thing is, right, by the around the year 1000, Loki will have been normalized across Norwegian practice and therefore across Icelandic practice. So, right, while he starts there, he clearly expands pretty rapidly in elite contexts. And so, suddenly, as the settlement of Iceland wraps up, you got a whole bunch of people who are like, yeah, Loki exists. And then there's a whole bunch of other fragments that might indicate something totally different. There's a lot of early modern evidence that this theory does not account for.
Yeah.
So it goes. So it goes. Anyway.
Psh, early modern, no.
I know, right? Anyway, do we have sort of final closing something thoughts? Well,
Yeah, I mean,
turn down the music volume even farther here, because the music is not calming down and my throat will perish if we continue talking over it.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, Wolfie
And
with
Wolfie
the 10.
with 10 tier 1
Hell yeah.
gifty subs. You love to see it. Thank you so
Yeah, I
much.
mean, I'll just say, like, kind of reiterating some of my closing thoughts from my article. Like,
exactly. You
we've
have
certainly
actually
gone-
published about this game.
I have published about this game, and of course, you know, it's the kind of thing you publish something and then you immediately are like, oh, I should have done this, I should have changed that, oh, I could have added this. Especially after you read it, and we've obviously done this in-depth playthrough, analyzing things. And I know you said you were becoming sort of disillusioned with its, with what the game was sort of doing with the mythology, but I think we still agreed during that episode that comparatively to what else is out there when it comes to
Atreus, are you ready?
Yeah,
now they're going to start
I
talking,
had the
right?
weirdest dream. Fimbulwinter
Great.
was ending,
Thank you.
and Thor came for us.
Uh-huh.
Here at the house.
Uh-huh.
It was only a dream.
But it felt different. It felt real.
Uh-huh.
It felt like the future.
Then we will worry about it tomorrow.
Indeed.
Today, there are still things we can do. Come.
Okay.
While you talk, I'm going to find a pretty spot.
Okay. Anyway, so I think we agreed though during that episode that comparatively, or compared to what else is out there when it comes to artifacts, modern artifacts of the reception of Old Norse literature and culture, this game does a great job.
True.
It does a great job. It has, you know, there's linguistic aspects, there's ornamental and architectural aspects all over the place. They clearly did a ton of work stitching together a weird inverted version of the kind of general narrative we can get from the sources, which is of course kind of a misconception anyway because they're
Here's something
very
I can't figure out.
incoherent.
Odin wants to prevent
But they did a really
Ragnarok.
good job by basically
serpents
removing
are good
Loki
there,
from
too.
the myths and trying to retell
hasn't he
them
already
from
said?
that
Yeah.
point of
It's a
view.
tricky thing, lad.
Absolutely.
Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome.
Okay.
Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
No thanks. I would rather not. We are going to just overlook the Lake of the Nine here, because it is very pretty.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's snowy.
And
Now
it's
it looks
snowing.
like it looks here. Damn it.
What?
Now it looks like current Iceland.
Oh, true.
Snowy and shitty.
True. Anyway, my disillusionment is still very much right. Despite it doing a better job than most, honestly, there still is a lot of room for improvement when it comes to the
Yeah.
depiction of the Norse myths and of Norse narrative tropes in video games. Because this game severely. I mean, I now understand a little bit better, besides obviously people are horrible, why people were so. Why there was. Right, an initial backlash against Angrboda's depiction in the trailer for the next game. Because this game absolutely created this isolationist, white. It's very, very friendly to white supremacists. Let's put it that way. Even though the gods are all absolute horrible people, it still is this super isolationist white space.
Yeah.
And it's gross. And I'm glad they're doing something to deal with that in the next game. But they made a fundamental misstep when they basically said there are all of these bubbles where that different pantheons have sway, and that it is very difficult to go between them. That is, I think, the fundamental misstep of this game.
Yeah, it's true.
I think this game's narrative would be even stronger if traveling was normal, and people seem to have an idea, people that aren't Mimir seem to have an idea of who the Ghost of Sparta is, because they will have heard.
Yeah.
And potentially will have gone and seen how devastating it is. But instead, we get this hint of like the Nine Realms are this one thing. They are their own little bubble of a stacked set of dimensions, and then off we go. And that's bad. That's, I think...
And everybody's white.
And everyone's white. And that's something that's just not really okay. I think that is a grave enough sin that it makes me suspicious, or makes me not like many of the other things that it does fairly well. The other main criticism I have of this is that there's a lot of times where it changes things just because it wants to make you feel bad, rather than because it actually has something to say with the changes. Right? At this game's best, every change is thematically and narratively resonant. And then there's things like, oh yeah, we just killed off Skavi.
Yeah.
Was Skavi important? Maybe. She's dead, so who cares?
Yeah, the things they chose to change did seem mostly just arbitrary and like kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I do agree there for sure.
And then the last criticism is, of course, boss fights.
Yes, boss fights.
Boss fights are a really juicy spot for their mythological references, and I hope Ragnarok does a lot better. Because the boss fights in this game were universally pretty underwhelming. Gameplay-wise, fun for the first 3 trolls.
Yeah.
But
And it
generally
just gets
speaking,
tiring.
underwhelming.
And I mean, yeah, with the isolation thing, it's kind of, I mean, it's geared as being because of the ice here. Like, you can't really blame the first God of War, well, not the first God of War, but like the Greek era of the God of War games, all the other God of War games,
Exactly.
because they didn't plan to expand, so like that would be like retroactive kind of retconning. But for this one, they're kind of putting the Aesir as this, you know,
Super
like it's not
isolationist force.
isolationist, like tyrannical, really corrupt force.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, for that, I understand. But yeah, I mean,
But-
yeah, you could have just thrown in some.
On the other side, though, right, this isn't a case where I think, like, some media, everyone is just awful, and the point is that everyone is awful. But they're specifically playing up the Aesir's awfulness.
Yeah.
Right, there's plenty of Norse gods here who are not garbage. Freya is deeply flawed, but generally speaking, well-intentioned. Freyr seems
Yeah, she's not like a tyrant.
Yeah, Freyr, our sir not appearing in this video game, seems at least well-liked by the Alvar.
You know.
Tyr gets hyped up the whole time as, wow, look at how good he is.
Yeah, exactly.
The
But doesn't show
Yitnar
up.
are explicitly talking about how they want peace and unity. Friður, in which actually Freyr would be a good choice to be including with that, given that Adam Bremen says that you pray to him for peace and prosperity,
Yeah.
among other things. If you've seen an idol of Viking Age idol of Freyr, you know what the other things are. But right, so there are other figures. It's not like everyone in this universe is awful.
Yeah.
So it's a failure, I think, to try and pin the isolationism on the ice here, because it's not a good look. And it runs the risk, of course, there are people who are like, I believe in the ICR, and also I think that isolationism is good. The
Yeah,
game can
of
phrase it
course.
as bad as all at once, but you know that neo-Nazis want to be isolationist, and that there are neo-Nazis who claim to be neo-pagan.
Yeah. But then the game,
So-
the ludic narrative of the game will make us murder them. Hopefully in the next game. So.
Well, yes. This game is not the most friendly to Nazis, but I think there's room to be made in substantive ways that actually do harm its portrayal of the mythology.
Sure.
So
It's not as bad as the Sons and Daughters of Skyrim, though.
true, exactly. There are worse games.
A true Nord. Skyrim belongs to the Nords.
Yep, that is in fact worse games. So I think we have been going for almost 4 hours, and I know it's late for you, so
Yeah.
I think that is as good a place as any to leave off.
Sounds
Peter,
good.
the way I would phrase this is, this game has lots of room for improvement, and we're going to be really hopeful that Ragnarok does that improvement. They've made promising steps. They've had some promising first steps. We'll just see if they can improve on those areas a bit.
Yeah, I think the way to focus on this game is that it was mostly focused on explicitly recuperating or resuscitating, whatever you want, sort of like healing the character of Kratos, and sort of
Exactly.
dealing with the game's other negative aspects, because the game was never really racist in that sense, because the Greek stuff doesn't have as explicit of a tie to white supremacy, even though it does, of course, but not in the same way as Old Norse culture. But it was really dealing with the more extreme toxic masculinity aspects of the older games.
And it succeeds in that masterfully.
Yes,
Right. It
but yes,
succeeds
I
in-
agree. They could go the other step, especially in the next game, which I think they are with at
Exactly.
least with like Angerbotha
Right. It
and
has
Fat Thor.
It
No,
has it has laid a foundation that has a lot of potential. So even though the portrayal of mythology is fundamentally flawed in this game, there is potential to build on that and make it way more nuanced and way more interesting, and really complicate these mythological references in the next game, now that they have kind of dealt with the worst aspects of the game. Now we've got to start dealing with the less bad, but still problematic aspects of the God of War legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hooray. And so, thank you all very much for watching. A special thanks to our patrons, all listed here, for making this possible. Again, if you want to support the stream, you can head over to patreon.com for links to that. Patreon.com/LudoHistory to see what tiers of support work best for you. Now, schedule for the next week. We got some real hype stuff. First off, Sunday, we're going to continue with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. With Case 3, we're finally going to get to London, and I am very, very excited. We are going to probably try and start a bit early. I'm going to bump up that time slot to 4, because there's something I want to do in the evening. So, there's that. Then Tuesday, we're going to have the For Now finale of Historians versus New World. We're going to be talking about Ebon Scale Reach, which means talking about China, and how New World completely does things with its token Chinese area. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's on Tuesday, and then on Friday at 4 p.m., instead of God of War, we will be continuing with Norse mythology bad takes, but this time with Assassin's Creed Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok.
Wow.
So yeah, that's going to be a game. We're going to have Kate Minity from the Save Ancient and some folks from the Save Ancient Studies Alliance on for that, so you have that to look forward to. But yeah, we're going to be spending a lot of time in Svartalfheim, which is going to be difficult because I'm not sure I have any more takes about Svartalfheim. I think I may have spent them all.
I believe in you.
Thank you. So, I hope you are looking forward to that. If you are, please do tell a friend, because bringing people in, even for a little bit, even if you have to lurk, is the best way to make these streams more fun for everyone. So, until then, though, I've been Adam. This has been Luca. Big round of applause to Luca, by the way, for staying up late for all these playthroughs and providing excellent co-commentary. So, chat, big round of applause there.
Thanks for having me. This was a ton of fun.
Thank you. And this has been Lead of History. This has been the finale of God of War 2018. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.